Well, a very pleasant good evening and welcome to Spanish Fork High School, where tonight it's Spanish Fork and Ogden in the first round of the Class 4A state playoffs. At this point, for both these teams, it's win or your season comes to an end here tonight. And for Spanish Fork, what's been a promising year so far, the Dons have only taken a couple of setbacks throughout the regular season, including their last game against the Orem Tigers, but now an opportunity to kind of everybody start 0-0, and now you just have to keep winning. Great to be joined tonight by my partner, Jerry Huffman, as Chris is in Copenhagen. So we got Jerry Huffman with us here. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Spanish Fork and Ogden right now, a great matchup for a Tiger program that really has been on the improvement up there. And really, Ogden might present some challenges tonight for Spanish Fork.
Oh my goodness. This Ogden team, I watched their game last week against Bear River, and they came out first play of the game, touchdown. Their running back has 1,200 yards. 1,200 yards this year, and he's fast, he's thick, he's just really hard to bring down. But these coaches have done an amazing job with the Ogden team.
We'll pause briefly here at Spanish Fork High School for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, the national anthem over here at Spanish Fork High School. We are set and ready to go for some high school football here as we get set and ready to go for this one. Jerry, we were talking about the Spanish Fork Dons, and the year they've had really has been quite successful for what Preston Parish has put together. Only 3 losses in the regular season. 2 of those losses, a 1-score loss, one at Ridgeline and one to Cypress, and then lost to Orem. But if you're Preston Parish and the Dons, Jerry, you have to like the position you're in going to the state playoffs.
Oh yeah, Coach Parrish, he's put a great staff around him. They coach these kids up really well, and Spanish Fork always has stellar athletes. And this coaching staff has got the most out of these athletes this year.
So it should be fun. Riker Barton will get ready to kick it away for Spanish Fork. Dons in the red tops and the gray pants with the silver helmets, while Ogden in the all-white uniforms tonight in the orange. And we will see right off the bat, we'll see 2 of the instant playmakers for Ogden, Irving Gastelum, the senior wide receiver, and then also number 33, that is Ryle Hansen, the senior running back. And we're underway, and this one will be squibbed kick. Hansen will pick it up from about the 8-yard line and gets outside, and he's dropped by Trey Lofton in kick coverage right there for the Dons.
Trey Lofton, outstanding athlete. You know, his brothers Chase and Gage, also great players here at Spanish Fork. It's nice to see that legacy continue.
And so now we'll take a look here and see what the Ogden Tigers can put together. The Tigers coming in had a very successful season. Lost 2 of their last 3 down the stretch to Park City and also Bear River. Those games weren't super competitive, but for the most part, the Tigers have been competitive with every team they've been on the field with this year. And their senior quarterback, Bo DeVries, will run the offense here. And they'll send Hansen immediately out of the backfield. Penalty flags flying. We'll have a stoppage here on the first snap.
Looks like we have some illegal motion penalty. That happens quite a bit when you have those orbit motions and things like that. Everyone has to stay perfectly still.
And that's going to make it now 1st and 15. They'll take 5 away, and Ogden will get ready to come back here on, will be 1st and 15 from their own 14 here, just underway, 11:53 to go here in the first quarter. The winner of this one gets ready to play either Dixie or Green Canyon. That one, a 7 p.m. kick down in St. George. Here's a give straight up the middle and nothing going on first down. Josh Trapney and company getting there for Spanish Fork. And that's not a good sign early on if you're the Ogden Tigers to get stuffed on that first down play.
Oh, yeah, they switched from spread to the I formation with 15 yards. Elect to get the dive up the middle, and Spanish Fork was having none of that.
Up the middle, Josh Trapney on one end right there. It's been tough, especially up the middle with Bubba Rupena and Blaine Bradford really kind of anchoring the middle part of the defensive line for Spanish Fork. Once again, we see Hansen in motion. DeVries sets up the screen pass, gets it out there. That is complete. And making a couple of men miss, there was number 5, Chase Butler.
Chase Butler, I mean, he's their leading receiver. He was their leading running back early in the year before they switched to Riley Hansen. I mean, that's a good 1-2 punch inside to Riley Hansen and outside to Chase Butler.
Butler with 13 touchdowns, 8 on the ground and 5 receiving this year for Ogden. Has had one of those great seasons, so a great 1-2 punch. And if you're head coach Eric Thompson, you have to like the idea of bringing back Chase Butler, who's only a junior. Here's a give up the middle. Ball's loose, picked up. Jacob Moore will pick it up and be brought down inside the 20-yard line at about the 17-yard line for a Mikel Christiansen and Wise attorneys at law. Great defensive play, and now the offense is set up in prime field position.
You know, last time they did I formation and did the dive, it looks like there was a little trouble in the exchange. This time it looked like there was some trouble in the exchange again, and Spanish Fork comes up with it.
And not a good start there if you're the Ogden Tigers, as we'll see Parker Swenson, the senior quarterback, his first snaps here for the Spanish Fork Dons, as the Dons are in the prime mortgage lending red zone here for the first time this evening. Back to throw. Swenson will take a shot for it all here.
In the corner, got a man.
Has it. Touchdown, Spanish Fork. Dallas Iera, and the Dons are on the board.
Oh, my goodness. I expected Spanish Fork to try and pound it up the middle, but hey, great coaching decision. Touchdown in the corner.
Iera has been a key playmaker for Spanish Fork this year, and a nice job there. The Dons able to find a way to strike on their first play from scrimmage. Spencer Red will come on for the extra point, and this kick is up and through the uprights, and with 10:25 to play in the first quarter, Spanish Fork has a 7-0 lead.
Oh, man, I look out there, Spanish Fork just has so many weapons on the field. It's a fun offense to watch. You never know what's going to happen, and they can score at any moment.
This is a Spanish Fork team that I think really opened some eyes after week 2 when they went to Springville and took a 38-27 victory over the Red Devils. Really at the time, it kind of was the coming out party for quarterback Parker Swenson, as he was able just to throw all over that Red Devils defense, and that really kind of shifted things for Spanish Fork. The Dons then went to Maple Mountain, or played Maple Mountain here and got a 27-14 victory before losing a tough one to Cypress, 35-34, and then was able to take 4 straight over Salem Hills, Payson, Mountain View, and Uinta before that loss to Orem last week. As Riker Barton puts a foot into this one, a line drive kick that will go into the end zone, and the Tigers will bring it out to the 20-yard line, where Ogden will try to build off of that first drive where they're able to move the ball when they got it in the hands of Chase Butler.
Yeah, we'll see if they stick to that inside run game with those short, quick passes out to Hansen. They need to do something though.
The senior quarterback, Bo DeVries, 6'3", 190 pounds. On the year, has thrown for over 2,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Has really been an anchor of this offense in his senior campaign.
A lot of those passes come on those little swings. It still counts as a quarterback pass, but they get the yard after catch as well.
Hansen again will be the back, and he'll get the call right up the middle. And Hansen will get to about the line of scrimmage, and he's hit. He might have gotten a yard, it looks like, and maybe some forward progress right there. But a good pickup there for Hansen.
Oh, linebacker Ben Boyack just came and decleated him from the bottom up. So nice to see linebackers feel like that. Gives the defensive line a lot of confidence. They can be aggressive to know those linebackers are there just to clean it up.
2nd down and 9, ball on the Ogden 21-yard line right here. DeVries here in kind of the pistol formation. We'll see some multiple formations from the Ogden Tigers tonight. And here they try to get it out quickly to Chase Butler, and Butler makes the catch. He'll get a couple of yards, but not much again. And it's going to put Ogden for the first time tonight in a 3rd and long.
Yeah, they're running an RPO, which is a run-pass option concept. You know, where they have the option to give inside, but it looks like there is no read by the quarterback. Looks like the coach on the sideline, he's saying, okay, this time we're going to fake the run and throw it to the receiver. You got to go where the numbers are, so it's not a true RPO, and they're going to have a tough time with that against Spanish Fork.
So we'll see what they elect to do here on 3rd down and 7. They need to get to the 30-yard line in order to move the chains here. DeVries all by himself here. They split Butler to the bottom of your screen. DeVries rolling out, tracking from the backside. Hit as he throws, but I think it was incomplete. Looking to get it out there to Irving Gastelum, the senior wide receiver, and that will bring up 4th down.
That was a great play by the quarterback. Rolling out to the left, the right-handed quarterback. Has to reset to fire that in there. Made a great play for that first down. Oh, was that they call that incomplete? Oh. Sorry, I'm sleeping over here, I guess. I thought he caught it.
It will be number 2. That is going to be Cooper Crabtree, a junior wide receiver who will be back deep to punt.
Motion to the short side.
And now they'll get the punt away, but it's over towards the sideline.
That looks like it goes out about the 45-yard line.
And it's going to give Spanish Fork very good field position at about the 46 of Ogden. So once again, Spanish Fork with good field position. And Jerry, that field position really makes a difference, especially early on when you're starting to drive, how you would go about calling plays.
Right, and that play was actually well scouted out by Spanish Fork. He's on the short side of the field, and they motion over. He can only kick to his right, so he has to run to the short side to do those rugby punts. And Spanish Fork read it, and man, if he wouldn't have kicked out of bounds, I think it would have got plastered.
Here's Kimball Morley on 1st down, straight up ahead, and Morley will get a couple down to about the 43-yard line as Kimball Morley getting back in there. As we'll see here, I'm kind of wondering if maybe we might see Kimball Morley try to move him around a little bit. They played him a lot at the slot a week ago against Orem. Didn't really get him a lot of catches on the outside, but he's back in the backfield here on 2nd and 7.
I think we'll see more and more to Kimball Morley as the game goes on and Spanish Fork extends the lead. What a cushion out there. Oh, slipped down.
Swenson, not the best ball there thrown out there, but he gets it complete to Brandon Congdon.
The defender was giving him a 10-yard cushion 15 yards down the field.
Spanish Fork not taking time to huddle in between plays. They're ready to go again.
Oh, I like hurry-up offenses. It keeps the defenses simple.
Here's the 1st and 10 play. Over the middle has Noah Conway on the slant. Conway breaks one, looking for the end zone. He'll be about a yard short, and it will bring up a 1st and goal for Spanish Fork, and back in the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone here from the 1.
Yeah, on defense, Ogden is just playing very passive defense against this aggressive Spanish Fork offense. That's not gonna work anytime.
Kimball Morley, the deep back. Ben Boyack comes in at the kind of the fullback, and now they'll split him out into the slot.
Quarterback sneak.
Under center. Quarterback keeper. Touchdown.
Not even close. Oh, my goodness. I think they could do that. I think the line can push Ogden around all day long.
At the 13-0 lead here for Spanish Fork. This time Parker Swenson from a yard out, and now Spencer Redd will come on for the point after touchdown try.
Yeah, that's a well-coached line by the Brandon brothers.
Spencer Red gets the extra point and just hooks it inside the upright, and it's good. And the Dons out to a quick 14-0 lead. 2 possessions for Spanish Fork and 2 touchdowns, just the way the head coach Preston Parrish wanted to get off to the start tonight. As a third-year head coach looks to try to get Spanish Fork into the second round of the playoffs for the first time going back to 2012. The last time Spanish Fork has been in the playoffs and out of the first round.
Wow. And this team has the potential to go really far.
Riker Barton, number 81, will get ready to kick it away here for Spanish Fork. Once again, we'll see the combination of Hansen and Gastelum back deep, and this one into the end zone again and back out to the 20-yard line. And right now, Riker Barton, one of the best defenders on the Spanish Fork team, as he's able to put that one in the end zone and brings it out to the 20-yard line to get started.
Yeah, being able to keep your opponent starting on the 20-yard line is huge. I mean, you have to drive 80 yards to get that ball in the end zone, and that's a long ways to go.
Let's go ahead tonight and let's take a look at our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game here. And we'll go ahead and we'll get that in here in a minute here, maybe after this first play, as Bo DeVries is ready to go here with the Ogden offense. DeVries pitches it out to Hansen, who tries to get outside. Hansen will get about 4 or 5 to that far corner of the field. And now let's go to our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game.
Yeah, Spanish Fork needs to stop Ogden's running attack. Ryle Hansen has 1,200 yards. And it looks like they're doing a good job. I mean, he's got speed and power. Spanish Fork's been doing a great job with that one. So check that one so far in the first quarter. Stay steady and don't let emotions dictate the game. We saw a little bit of that in Orem. I'm not going to talk about that much, but those things do get heated, and and it can be it can take you out of your game if you let it.
Hansen on the carry, makes a couple of men miss. Caleb Lundquist, however, is going to get a fistful of jersey and throws him down to the ground, but I think that's going to be good enough for a Tiger first down. And Ogden, for the second time tonight, able to move the sticks.
Yep, that's what we kind of expect to see out of Hansen. He's shifty, he's strong, he's fast. If he gets a crease, he can go, but at the same time, Spanish Fork has speed as well.
Hansen has 500-plus games this year, so he's been able to find a way to get into some triple digits multiple times for Ogden.
5 100-plus games. I thought you said a 500 game. Oh, I didn't see that.
5 100-yard or more games.
Okay.
Maybe I did say. Who knows? Yeah, it's 2 hours earlier than normal, Jerry.
Hey, that's fine.
As Chase Butler gets the carry, number 5, and not much going there. Maybe a gain of a yard on first down for Butler.
Caleb Lundquist in there celebrating his tackle.
Brings up a 2nd down and 9. Ball on the Ogden 31-yard line here with 6:14 to go here in the first quarter. So far, it's been all Spanish Fork here this evening. I formation set for the Tigers. And DeVries going to roll out. They try to throw the bootleg back to Hansen. They get it completed, but Bubba Rupena is going to make the tackle for about probably about a 5-yard loss or so. Brings up 3rd and really long here for Ogden.
Woo, that was fun to watch. Watching the big boys make the play, running down those running backs. And to do that, he had to have a good knowledge of what was happening. He stayed home and made the play.
How much of a preparation for a game and how much execution comes from stuff you do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Oh, I was a film junkie, and if a kid wants to be really good, watch your opponent on film, know their tendencies. You can improve so much more doing that.
DeVries trying to direct traffic, takes a shot from Conway. It's intercepted by Trey Lofton. Lofton at the 45 is going to be brought down in the backfield. And right there, another turnover, the second one of the night for the Ogden Tigers, and Spanish Fork back in business.
Bo DeVries has 11 interceptions on the year. That's quite a bit. When he's forced to throw it downfield, when the RPO doesn't work, and you get in these third and long situations, you can't throw it downfield. Take what you can get, punt it away, play for field position.
This is an Ogden defense that's given up on average about 30 points a ball game. To give you an idea at home, Spanish Fork scores about 36 points a game. Parker Swenson steps up here, and now he's going to try to scramble, looking downfield for something. Has a man out there, kind of throws a jump ball. Brandon Congdon goes up and grabs it. They're going to call it a catch down to the 33.
That will be there all day. He is eating that corner alive. You know, he's playing him deep so he doesn't get beat, and then when he plays him tight, Congdon just out jumps him. 6'4" with elevation is hard to beat.
Congdon here to the very top of your screen, and here's the give up the middle. It's Parker Swenson on the keeper.
You know, I watched that, but I'm keeping my eye on Congdon out there, and they're still doing a one-on-one matchup with that number 2, Cooper Crabtree. And he's even with him with a 6-foot head. I just catch and put it up, and as long as they're not going to do an over-under coverage on Congdon, man, I'd use that all day long.
6'4" Brandon Congdon going up against the 5'10" Cooper Crabtree. Here's the screen pass to get it out in space to Iera.
Great block.
First down down the sideline. Iera is going to be thrown out inside the 10, down to the 9. It's first and goal Dons.
Tell you, Trey Lofton was the key to that play. You know, Dallas Iera did a great job, but the key to that play was Trey Lofton blocking his first guy, coming and trapping out the second guy. Made it easy for Iyer to make his moves.
We'll give a Lance Wilson State Farm assist there to Trey Lofton on the downfield block. And now here's the give up the middle. Kimball Morley from the 9, and he gets down inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. Spanish Fork knocking on the door here once again.
Hey, that line made a hole big enough I might have been able to run through there, maybe.
Spanish Fork ready to go quickly again. High snap and penalty flags.
Linebacker blitz coming.
And I think it's probably some movement up front. I know, it looks like we're going to get...
I thought number 8 for Ogden might have been a little... it might have been a little quick or early on that blitz. So
that's the junior Cisco Cuevas there. And I think the initial call, it goes against the Tigers. It's first and goal Dons right now from the 1.
You know, bringing outside blitz on the 1 really doesn't make any sense. They need to put pressure inside because, you know, Spanish Fork thinks they can just shove it down your throat.
Boyack in there again as the blocking back with Kimball Morley behind him. And here's the give. Morley to the outside, trying to look for the corner of the end zone. He's going to lose a couple of yards there as Ogden's linebackers there really played the space and the gaps there well.
That plays to Ogden's speed and strength. We're bigger inside. Get that fullback to blast that linebacker out of the hole and just walk it in.
And now it's going to be second down and goal from about the 4. Here's Boyack on the carry, looking to get in, and he's in. Touchdown, Spanish Fork.
Nothing fancy. Give it to the big fullback and follow that big nasty line to the promised land.
And it's 20-0 Dons here with 3:49 to go here in the first. As we saw Ben Boyack get some good carries last week against Orem. Well, Boyack here turned it into 6 on this possession. And the Dons are 3 for 3. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. And Spencer Red adds the extra point. And with 3:49 to go in the first quarter, it's 21-0 Spanish Fork on top of the Ogden Tigers. Let's take a moment here on Spanish Fork 17, and let's thank our sponsors for making this broadcast tonight and our many other broadcasts throughout our high school sports season possible here tonight.
Hey, we have Blue Diamond Auto Group, Prime Mortgage Lending, State Farm, Lance Wilson State Farm, Triple T Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, Mikhail Christiansen and Wise, MVP Sports, and the Great Two Jacks Pizza. Had some of that before the game. Good stuff.
We also want to welcome those watching on our YouTube page, youtube.com/SpanishFork17, and also those on our live stream on sfcn.org. When you click the Watch Live button. Great to have everybody with us here this evening, and it's been a good start so far for Spanish Fork as the Dons lead the Ogden Tigers 21-0 here in this one. A Spanish Fork win would mean they play again next week, and this one goes deep into the end zone. And Riker Barton puts this one in the end zone, and that will come out to the 20-yard line. And Ogden will try to get something going here. Jerry, we've seen the Tigers have 3 possessions, and at times it seems to be Ogden still trying to figure out some stuff offensively so far.
Yeah, they're getting it with Spanish Fork's aggressive line. They do a few trap blocks inside. They're seeing some success. But then, of course, once Spanish Fork has seen it a couple times, those defensive tackles, they're looking left and right, and they're staying home and making the plays.
Hansen, the senior tailback, right here behind DeVries. DeVries looking to throw downfield, throws off his back foot, incomplete.
I thought Lofton had another pick 6 there.
And right there, a penalty flag has been thrown from the secondary, and I think we may have a penalty here against Spanish Fork, as DeVries there did not take time to set his feet. I think he was trying to throw this one, and we're going to have our first penalty against the Dons tonight. And that's an automatic, it looks like, first down here for the Ogden Tigers.
This is the best field position for the Tigers all night so far in the first quarter. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left.
I think it's Dakota Conway, number 7, talking to the official. I think maybe getting an explanation as to what the penalty was. But if you're Bo DeVries, you have to find a way to maybe take a split second to plant your feet before you make that throw, especially over the middle.
Oh, if he plants his feet, he would have been planted on the ground by the defensive tackles for Spanish Fork.
Here's Hansen again into the thick of the defense, and Ben Boyack not allowing much up the middle. A couple of yard gain there for Hansen, and that will bring up second down and about 8.
Yeah, those linebackers for Spanish Fork are legit. That Ben Boyack, he fills with an aggression that just got to be scary to the running back.
Boyack at 6 feet tall, 205 pounds, a senior, really anchored the middle part of that defense throughout the year. Here's the pitch. Hansen trying to get outside, and he'll find a way to get a little bit of a hole there, and maybe one of his more productive runs tonight, as Hansen's going to be pretty close to a first down and bring up 3rd and short. Looks like he's about 3rd and a yard or so.
Looks like. Let's see what they pull out. Are they going to try and do it, push it up the middle against this Spanish Fork defensive line? Or you think they're going to do another screen pass to the outside?
It'll be interesting to see what offensive coordinator and head coach Eric Thompson comes up with right here. They're going to try to throw. Pressure comes from the backside, looking downfield. Throws back to the backside and incompletes it there. And that will bring up 4th down. He tried to throw to the other side, but there is a penalty flag, however, down around the 48-yard line. I'm surprised to see DeVries didn't just tuck it there and try to pick it up with his feet.
You know, I'm surprised too. but if I've got someone chasing me, I want to get rid of that ball as soon as possible.
It's a long throw, and it is against Ogden. It looks like an ineligible man downfield, and that will move the Tigers back. Preston Parrish saying, no, put him back, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 6 now coming up. And that's one thing. Ogden's had a hard time with 3rd and short, Jerry, and now 3rd and 6 right now seems more like a 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13 so far.
Yeah, you know, they have no answer for Spanish Fork's defense right now.
So 3rd down and 6 coming up. Ogden went 3-2 in Region 11 to finish overall at 6-4.
Looks like a timeout called by Ogden. They want to discuss it. Maybe their coach in the sky saw something he liked. I don't know.
As it will be interesting to see. This is the first meeting between these two teams. They've never played before, really? Spanish Fork and Ogden, which I was kind of surprised going back. Is Spanish Fork and Ogden, they've both been around for a while, and this is the first time these two teams have played, which will make it really kind of interesting to kind of see here. Some other Region 10 matchups going on tonight. Salem Hills, they're at Park City. Orem's hosting Tooele, and then Mountain View, who made the playoffs out of Region 10. Well, wow. They're heading to Stansbury, which should be kind of fun. I think most of those games were a 4 o'clock kickoff. The ones that were later was the game here in Spanish Fork. Dixie and Green Canyon was a 7 o'clock game. What I would imagine just allow a little bit easier travel time going down for everyone from the Logan area that had to make the trip down to St. George.
That's a long trip from Ogden to here.
And, of course, the game that most people here in Spanish Fork will be keeping a close eye on will be Dixie against Green Canyon, which should be a fun one later on this evening. Of course, if Dixie wins, Spanish Fork Ogden winner will go down to St. George next week. Pressure comes, DeVries rolling, and now finds some way to break a tackle before Caleb Lundquist pushes him out of bounds just a couple of yards short, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Wow, you ever watch those nature documentaries, those cheaters chasing that Impala? You just want to get out of there as quick as you can.
Made a nice play there, and that will bring up 4th and 2. And from the looks of it, it looks like the Ogden Tigers early on, they might be rolling the dice here and going for it here in the first quarter, down 21-0.
We'll see if they give them a hard count. Maybe go on Tuesday if they get someone to jump. No,
they go for it straight up the middle, and I don't think he got it. He maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 70, Blaine Bradford, was having none of that. None of that.
And the Dons defense comes up with a big stop. The 6'2" senior Blaine Bradford.
He looked like he took on 2 offensive linemen and still made the tackle.
And now once again a short field for Spanish Fork. They're 3 for 3 tonight on offensive possessions, ending in touchdowns. We'll see what the Dons can put together here.
Well, Spanish Fork's worst field position so far has been their own 45.
Looking downfield, Trey Lofton had it, but drops it as he went to make a move, and it was Gastelum who came over the top and to pop him, and that one goes incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10.
Man, that was a great pass. Got to hold on to those.
Brings up 2nd and 10, ball on the 44-yard line for Parker Swenson. 4 wide receivers, here's the give. Swenson's going to keep it, now throws it out to Noah Conway out in the flat. Conway will get about 8 yards or so. A nice idea there, kind of a triple option with the receiver.
Yep, and then as soon as he passed it off, Swenson went down and blocked somebody.
You have to think if you're Preston Parrish, with the way you're
he turns around and leaves blocks for Conway.
Have to think 2-down territory here for Preston Parrish with the way your offense has been.
Oh, yeah.
Swenson looking for it. Pressure from Butler. Goes down back at his own 49-yard line.
Great play by number 5.
Chase Butler, the linebacker / safety, gets there for a 2 Jacks Pizza quarterback sack right there.
Yeah, his only chance was to dive at that ankle. Lucky enough to find something.
And now we'll see if that might change the play call here a little bit from Spanish Fork. Doesn't look like it so far. And that slot right now is left wide open with Iera. Nobody's on Iera, and if he gets a little bit of space, he's
can't
wide
run backwards.
open,
Don't
but
run backwards.
Going down and being sacked was Parker Swenson back at this time at his own 31-yard line. Back-to-back 2 Jacks Pizza quarterback sacks, and Ogden will have their best field position of the night coming up here on their next drive with 53 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Yep, punt that away, get field position. Don't give Ogden any momentum. Hey, sometimes as an offense quarter, if you think you can do it, you convince the head coach, hey, I want to go for this. I mean, he had people downfield. I mean, I saw Congdon on the other side hitch up 5 yards short of the first down yard line. I mean, he would be my primary target at 6'5".
Iera was wide open on the other side of the field. Nobody within 10 yards of him. That might have been a touchdown. Pressure comes. DeVries sets up the screen, gets it out to Hansen in some space. Hansen will make one man miss, breaks a tackle, goes down the sideline. Will have, I think, enough for a first down. And Ogden now finding a way to move it there with the screen pass.
Yeah, you can feel a little bit of a momentum shift. I'm sure Spanish Fork will get it back here. They'll tighten up here in the red zone.
46.5 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Ogden having an opportunity here, and this is the possession early on where the Tigers really need to take advantage after what's not really a turnover, but kind of essentially a turnover at the end of the day with those back-to-back sacks. Motion man here. Here's the double reverse back to Gastelum, who tries to get out in space, and Ben Boyak's having none of it here.
That reverse against the speed and quickness of Spanish Fork. First of all, you have to set it up on the sweep. You have to run that play before you run the reverse. You know, we're manned up with receivers on this side or defenders on this side, they're going to stay home. You really got to set up that short side sweep if you want that play to work.
Be a 3rd down and 4 coming up here for Ogden. They don't have to snap it here in the first quarter. 8 seconds on the game clock, 10 on the play clock. We'll see what they do, and it looks like Ogden's just going to let it go to the end of the first half. Or end of the first quarter, I mean. At the end of the first, here from Spanish Fork, this one's all Dons. The Dons score on 3 of their first 4 possessions, and it's a 21-0 Spanish Fork lead at the end of 1. You're watching high school football here on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
Well, the start of the second quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. Ryan Pickens alongside tonight, Jerry Huffman. As right now it's a 21-0 lead here for Spanish Fork. The Ogden Tigers, however, right now a little bit of momentum, and the Tigers trying to find a way to convert a big 3rd down and 3 here. The Tigers are getting back into this one. This might be a big 3rd down they need to convert.
Yeah, I expect a lot more out of this Ogden offense.
DeVries throws that one into Gastelum, but he couldn't bring it in. That will bring up 4th down.
Wow, that was great. Those are missed opportunities. You got to make those plays. 4th down now for Ogden. They have no choice but to go for it now. Down 21-0.
The hard part is that clock not really on your side if you're the Ogden offense, and really if this is a 0-0 game, a little bit different position, but with the way the defense has been playing tonight, kind of puts a little more pressure here on Spanish Fork to try to find a way to see what they can do.
Interesting I formation with 4th and 5.
DeVries steps up, and he'll be dropped for a quarterback sack in the backfield. Josh Traffney getting there for the Two Jacks Pizza quarterback sack.
You know, and that just shows great trust in the defense to go for it on Spanish Fork on that 4th and long. They knew the defense would hold strong, so no harm, no foul, right?
So the Dons will take over right here on their own on the 33-yard line here. And they'll have an opportunity to come out, and I would kind of wonder if they might not take a shot here early on in the possession. Here's Kimball Morley straight up the middle. Morley is going to have a 1st down across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. It's been a few weeks since we've seen Kimball Morley really show some of that explosion-type offense that we saw back in Week 2 in the 38-27 win over Springville. We'll see if Morley can maybe get going tonight against Ogden.
You know, a good running back makes the first guy miss. I think he made the first 5 guys miss on that one.
Out to the 47-yard line, Parker Swenson pump fakes, now steps up, rolls away from the pressure, throws this one over the middle looking for Noah Conway, but that one goes incomplete, brings up 2nd down.
That was great power with just a flick of the wrist. Able to escape the sack and almost get it to Conway.
And Conway, a lot of one-on-one coverage down the field, and the tough part when you play in that one-on-one coverage is one guy misses, that's an extra 5-10 yards or even more sometimes.
Oh yeah, and one-on-one coverage great for the run game because all your defenders have the back turned to the running back.
Here's Kimball Morley again up the middle, gets another 6 yards or so. This time to the Ogden 46-yard line, and it's going to be a 3rd down and about 2.
It kills. See, the difference between Spanish Fork and Ogden right here is the way they tackle. You know, they receive the tackle and fall back and give Spanish Fork an extra 4 yards, whereas was it Boyack? Ben Boyack? He'll hit you and drive you back 4 yards.
This time, Kimball Morley gets maybe a half a yard or so.
Of course, as soon as I say that.
The Tigers right there getting 3 or 4 linemen to get in there to make the stop. I think Connor Howard, the senior defensive end, was one of them in there. And they'll bring up 4th down and about 3.
Looks like they might punt it. Nope. Oh, no.
Parker Swenson, the quarterback, in there with Zach Buse and Ben Boyack in the backfield. High snap, they get it down. Buse on the carry, has enough for the 1st down and more. Lowers his head at about the 34, and that's a 1st down for Spanish Fork.
You know, he reminds me of a kid that played for Spanish Fork a few years ago. His name was Gunnar Buse. He was a loaded fullback as well.
Just a nice carry right up the middle. We didn't really see Zach Buse get a ton of carries until probably midway through the season. That Salem Hills game, really, Buse, I believe it was the Salem Hills game, he came alive.
Another high snap.
Swenson going for it all. Has
way out of bounds.
But it's out of bounds, incomplete.
You can tell as soon as that left his hands, he wanted that back. It just took off on him.
Had the man open, so we'll see. It seems to be that Spanish Fork's able to get that matchup deep, which really favors somebody like Parker Swenson with a good arm.
Well, the safeties are so far inside and actually covering. Looks like they're going cover 1 again, man defense.
And this time it's going to be Connor Howard, number 50, getting there immediately. Him and Cisco Cuevas, the linebacker, doing a nice job there to bring down Buse, and he loses 2, brings up a 3rd down and about 12. So not the favorable situation the Dons wanted to find themselves in right here. 4 wide receivers here for the Dons.
Man coverage again.
That one's going to be complete, and that's going to be close to the marker.
He dives for the first. He realized where the 1st down was as he was slipping and made that extra effort. Outstanding job.
And it's going to be enough there for a 1st down. And a good ball there by Swenson, trying to just find a nice shot to get into Trey Lofton. Not an easy throw there, trying to get it over the linebacker before the corner. Ball in the 22. Here's Noah Conway trying to get out in some space. Makes one man miss. Now
goodness.
Slips through. Conway to the 5 for the end zone. Touchdown, Spanish Fork.
He is so hard to tackle. He has that low center of gravity. You got to square him up and hit him hard. I've watched that kid from the 7th grade, and he was impressive, just as impressive back then. Of course, he was on my team back then, 7th grade, and we took the championship.
A lot of arm tackles, it seems like, and a lot of reaching going on from the Ogden.
Well, that one, I think it was number 8 for Ogden, had him, and it looked like he just kind of looks like Conway was, covered in some sort of grease because he just slipped right off.
Spencer Red puts the extra point off the goalpost, and that one will miss, so it goes in, so it's no good.
So, how come if you hit the goalpost, it doesn't count? But if you put it directly over the goalpost, it counts.
I was having a conversation with somebody, and this is nowhere in the rule book at all, but I kind of feel like if you hit the goalpost, you should get 2 points.
Exactly.
Because it's a little bit tougher to hit that than the big open area.
I think you got to call it, though. I think I'm going to hit the left upright.
It's like the bank shot.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you don't call it, it doesn't count.
Nonetheless, right here, 27-0 Spanish Fork.
Well, we're just having a good time now, aren't we?
9:08. We've gotten the rust kicked off.
Yeah,
here,
exactly. And Spanish Fork's got a good lead. We can relax and enjoy the game. Not that tenseness. Now that all they got to do is keep Ogden from getting the momentum. And as we've seen, going in for 4th and long, even if they don't make it, they take a big sack and give them great field position. The defense held strong, so this could end up just being a good primer game for their next one.
Riker Barton with the kick. It's mishandled on the 1-yard line, and Ogden's going to take a big shot at the end there. With number 81, Jonah Lowry on the return.
Not in my house. Exactly what Jonah Riley said.
Not a fun hit to take there on the return, but
a lot of times those fumble returns, people. The defense kind of gets out of their lanes, and big plays can be made from that. And he almost made a big play around the edge, but 81 came and put a stop to that.
1st down and 10 coming up here for Ogden. The Tigers in the all-white with the white helmets with the orange kind of paw print there. There's Gastelum on the sideline, makes a nice catch. But Gastelum there only able to get about 4 or 5.
And Caleb Lundquist spins him out of bounds. Nice lockdown corners for Spanish Fork.
Gastelum had 988 yards coming in and 50 catches this year. So one more catch of about 7 or 8 yards, Jerry, and that should put him over 1,000 for the season. Average is close to 100 yards a game, 12 touchdowns. He's definitely the big target out there at wide receiver.
You know, but looking at the games they played, I don't think they've seen quite the caliber of Spanish Fork. And as soon as I say that, they roll off a 20-yard play.
Chase
I've got to be quiet.
Chase Butler there, nice job on just the little kind of a wide receiver kind of bubble screen type thing, it looks like.
That has been their success so far in this, is that screenplay. Pretty soon, Maple Mountain. Oh, sorry about that. Spanish Fork is gonna come too hard on those screenplays, and Ogden may just go over the top.
Be first down and 10 for the Tigers from the Ogden 45-yard line. Jerry and I are so used to being on the other side of town together. I think this is going to...
Basketball games. Basketball season's coming up, too.
Hey, we haven't said three-pointer yet. I think you're good, Jerry. Straight up the middle, here's Chase Butler.
We haven't had a field goal. Once we get a field goal, three-pointer from the line.
Who gets a couple straight up the middle there. We talked about the combination of Hansen and Butler.
Great combination. But if you go back and watch their games, most of the yardage is from those little screen passes. It's a little dump, 2 to 5 yard pass, close to the line of scrimmage, and it's a yards after catch that goes towards the quarterback. So it can be kind of deceptive. But then when you look at the 11 interceptions, you understand that when he throws it down the field, not a lot of good things happen.
DeVries here looking downfield, takes a shot, one-on-one coverage. That one incomplete. Looking for Gastelum, who's been in that matchup with Caleb Lundquist. That one goes incomplete.
Yeah, his touch on passes over 10 to 15 yards doesn't quite look as crisp as Parker Swenson.
And the tough part with it is, throughout any offense, you have to be able to, while that short 5-yard pass works a lot, you have to be able to at least take that shot every now and then and have that threat of hitting that deep ball.
Oh, yeah. But I'm looking at these the safeties for Spanish Fork, and they're ready for that, I think. Coaches have done their film work.
3rd down and 8, I formation set. DeVries will roll out of the pressure now. Jacob Moore will have him and will take him out of bounds. And for a quarterback sack there, a 2 Jacks Pizza quarterback sack, as DeVries just realized he didn't have anything and tried to get out of it.
This is something that frustrates me from an offensive standpoint. It's 3rd and 7. You're in the I formation. Everyone knows you're not going to run it, but you play action pass and give the defensive ends times to get downfield. So by the time you square up to pass it, you've got a defender in your face. Just take your 3-step drop, throw it 15 yards, and pray. Or else take a sack.
Here they're going to go for it here on 4th down, and they're not going to get it. They're going to get maybe a yard or two there on the little fake option on the punt, and now that gives Spanish Fork prime field position right here. They'll start again on Ogden territory, and right here the Dons have done a nice job moving the ball.
Yeah, they are dominating.
I'm surprised there in that situation that you wouldn't just punt, because you can at least flip the field.
Exactly. You know, and with 7-18, there's a lot of time. Get 1 or 2 scores on the board. Hold Spanish Fork and take some momentum into halftime.
You don't have to get all 27 back now, but you'd like to at least chip into that a little bit. Parker Swenson, pump fakes, looking up over the top, stops, takes a shot for Conway. Got it for a Spanish Fork touchdown.
He slowed down 3 yards before the end zone. It looks like he thought he was in.
And it's 33-0 Spanish Fork.
You know, with Swenson running around back there, able to keep his eyes downfield, that is huge.
Now the extra point. For Spencer Redd. He missed the last one, hit the left upright. Conway with the hold, and this one looks good. And it's through, and with 7:08 to play before halftime, it's a 34-0 lead for Spanish Fork. The mercy rule comes in at 35, so we still need one more point.
Does that happen in the first half?
It doesn't happen until the start of the second half.
Okay.
Then they have to get back within 21.
I'm pretty sure. I'm not going to put 1.7 billion lottery ticket on it, but I'm pretty sure Spanish Fork will be leading by 35 at halftime.
With the way things are going right now, the Dons have scored on all but one possession, and that one possession, the Dons looked like they were going to be in a great position to score, and it just didn't happen. Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors here on Spanish Fork 17 for making this broadcast possible each and every, well, I'm going to say night. Most times it was been on a Friday night. We want to thank Blue Diamond.
It's still Friday night.
I know, it is. It's still Friday night, but a couple of our broadcasts haven't been. We want to thank Prime Mortgage Lending, McKelkers, Jansen and Wise, Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Lance Wilson, State Farm Insurance, and Blue Diamond Auto Group for making this one possible. Spencer Red will kick this one to the up back, and going back there just to quickly try to get on it was number 20.
And this is a great time for Spanish Fork. I know they're up 34, and they're doing trick kick plays, but this is the perfect time to get ready for the next game. Perfect those plays in game. And they almost came up with that one. So I know a lot of people complain onside kicking and stuff like that when you're up by big, but hey, it's up for the defense to stop them.
It'll be 1st and 10 here for Ogden from the 40-yard line. The Tigers looking to try to get something going here. This has been their best starting field position most of the night there. And there's a pressure. Ball's loose. And Kimball Peterman, but they're going to call this one, I believe, incomplete on the pass. Our official coming in and saying no.
It was. He was in front of him. I mean, that just shows the lack of coordination on that play. From the start of that play, the pitch relation was horrible, and it's a right-handed quarterback pitching with his left hand. You know, I like running that speed option to the short side of the field because you usually have a better chance. But from that start, when the running back is parallel to you, that play's dead.
So bring up a 2nd down and 10 right here. 6:33 to go here before halftime. DeVries back to throw with some time, taking a shot, but overthrew him, incomplete. Looking for Gastelum, who is in double coverage with Buse over the top and Peterman coming behind. And now we'll bring up 3rd and long.
That was a good ball by the quarterback, though.
So we'll see here what they dial up on 3rd and 10, but have to think probably going back to some kind of a screen pass. That's been what's been working for most of the night.
Familiar situation for Ogden, 3rd and long.
DeVries back to throw. Penalty flag comes in immediately. DeVries looking to do something with it, and he will end up spinning and going down back at the 35. We'll sort out the penalty flag here, however, as there's one down around the 34-yard line. We'll see here who it's against.
It has to be encroachment by the defense, because wouldn't they stop it if it was an offensive penalty?
That's just what I was thinking.
I don't know, though. These refs, sometimes I think they make it up as they go.
It's going to be against Ogden. They just looked over at Preston Parrish. He'll decline it, and that's going to be a legal procedure call. Brings up 4th down in a punting situation here, I would think, for the Ogden Tigers. And
hey, nobody punts. Nobody punts. We haven't seen a punt this game.
Yeah, we haven't, now that I think of it. Look,
I like it.
I was kind of like, wait.
Well, it's funny. I went to a clinic where the coach always onside kicks, and he always uses all his downs.
Guy from Arkansas.
Yes.
I forget what his name is, but
you have to, if you're going to make 4th down work, you got to get half of it on 3rd down. You're in 2-down territory. You get half of it or 3/4 of it, so your 4th down is easy.
Cooper Crabtree, number 2, comes onto the field, and he is generally the punter for this Ogden team. Crabtree back to his own 25. They send a man in motion.
Oh, no, we did see a rugby punt just like this.
It's
Remember?
Hansen, yeah.
And he kicked it out of bounds.
Got a good kick away there. Iera, however, going to get a return.
See ya.
Cross the 40.
See ya.
Makes a man miss.
See ya.
Trying to get outside. He's going to slip past another guy. Almost get free, but he's inside the 40, almost to the line of scrimmage. Might have been just worth going for it if you're Ogden after the return by Iera.
In my head, all I hear is whoop, whoop, whoop. Slips one, slips another. Running with power. The only thing I would ask is tuck that ball.
And what sticks out to me looking at that replay, I see still a lot of reaching for up here, up around the chest. You're not going to make a lot of tackles going up around the chest.
No, and that's always killed me as a football coach. Tackles up around the shoulders.
Swenson has a man out there going for Congdon. Makes the catch for 5 and touchdown Spanish
That's
Fork.
exactly what we're talking about. That matchup is there. There is no way number 2 can cover him. No way.
Swenson had 2 guys. Trey Lofton had a couple of steps on the corner there, and it's 40-0 Spanish Fork with 5:39 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, that has to be my fourth and whatever play. Or my first and whatever play. That is going to be there all game until they roll a safety over the top. And I think they did fake it to the left, which will pull the safety over, and then they threw it deep.
Spencer Red puts the extra point through, and this one's been all Spanish Fork here with 5:39 to go here before halftime. And Spanish Fork has done a nice job of being able to find a way to keep the momentum and control of this one.
Swenson had all day back there, too. All day.
We'll let you know to catch this broadcast or many other broadcasts on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Spanish Fork 17. Also, watch live broadcasts on sfcn.org and hit the Watch Now button.
You know, I coached the Brandon brothers back in the day, and actually their dad coached with me. I coached the freshmen over here at Spanish Fork. It was like 9-10 years ago. Rick Brandon, their father, coached with us. So much fun. It's fun to watch those kids now being coaches.
And Riker Barton will kick this one deep, and I think this one's heading to the end zone. In fact, they just kind of turn and watch it. There was Jonah Lowry, and that one will come out to the 20-yard line, and Ogden will try to see if they can get something going. Really, right now, if you're Ogden, Jerry, 41-0 against anybody is going to be a tough deficit to pull, but when you haven't had a chance to really get a lot going offensively, what do you do to start getting something going?
Okay, right now, I would go back, forget about the score, play Ogden football, ground and pound, run it out, get what you can get, punt, get field position, and get better for the future. You know, maybe not this year. I mean, there's still a microcosm of a chance they're going to come back 41-0. I mean, anything can happen.
Penalty flag.
Play clock. But get back to what you do. Stop panicking. Stop, unless the trick plays are in your repertoire and you do them consistently. Once you pull that out, that's just telling the other team, hey, we're scared if you don't do it consistently. But get back to basic football.
It's a tough time for any team when they get down, especially because you get into that second half, and it's hard sometimes to stay mentally in it. DeVries rolling away, throws this one, completes the pass. Not the best ball, but you'll take it there, and that's complete out to Chase Butler.
Yeah. What you want to do as a defense is take away the primary weapon or primary two plays for the offense, your opponent. Make them do something they don't want to do, and Ogden does not want to throw it downfield.
And they're, I think, going to end up calling that one incomplete. Looked complete, but looks like they're going to say it's incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10. DeVries rolling out, stops, takes a shot deep. One-on-one coverage. Peterman undercuts it, makes the interception. Inside the 45 when he's tripped up and brought down by Jackson Allred. And Spanish Fork in business again with 4:53 to go in the first half.
And you could see that coming. Spanish Fork saw that coming. And once again, they did play action, which takes quite a bit of time. The quarterback can't get a good read on his receiver. He has to turn and fire that ball immediately because I guarantee you he was out of his range, and that's why he came up short and was intercepted.
And so they'll start at the Ogden 43-yard line right here. Parker Swenson will come out. And you have to think a score or two more, and you might not see the first team in the second half.
Yeah, but it's going to very quickly become a JV ball game.
Swenson steps up. He's just going to put it
Get
down.
out of bounds. Get out of bounds.
He's going to get tripped up at the last second. And Chase Butler got in there on the tackle for Ogden. You'd like to see him either slide or do something where he doesn't take the hit.
Be smart. Be smart. You are the key to the offense. You cannot go down first round of the playoffs. Please step out.
Bring up the second down and 6. 4:26 to go in the first half.
It's hard to turn off that competitive nature, but for the best of the team, step out of bounds.
Swenson dances away, completes it towards the sideline to Congdon. It's only going to end up going for about 3 yards, but the impressive thing there, Jerry, watching the quarterback's eyes on Parker Swenson,
exactly.
He's downfield the entire time.
He's stepping back, avoiding a player at his feet as he throws the ball. Boom, he's still stepping back, on the money, flat-footed. Great play. Great play.
3rd down and 3. Bo DeVries, the quarterback for Ogden, right now playing safety. Playing about 15 yards off the ball. Here's Marco Williams, number 20. He's into some space. He's going to have a first down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. A nice job just dropping it in there to Williams.
That was a great play, but at the end, lower that shoulder, get me another couple yards. Don't take the hit. Give it.
4 wide receivers for Spanish Fork, and whistles blow, and I think this is
like I have 12 men on the field for Ogden. Spanish Fork's in the hurry up. 14 men on the field. No, they had.
Yeah, it looks like too many men. The 2 guys ran to the sideline, and
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, they had 12. 5 running off. They bring 78 on. And that's what the hurry-up offense will do for you.
You think it back in the heyday when you had that hurry-up offense ran by guys like Chip Kelly when he was at Oregon, how much that just gave defenses fits. There's a completion to Iera, who takes a punishing hit, but he's down inside the 15 to about the 11-yard line, and the Dons back inside the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone.
Great play, great catch.
First down and 10. Parker Swenson ready to go. Drops back to throw. Has a man throw behind Iera. That one could have been picked. Nonetheless, brings up second down.
Yeah, I don't think those defenders are even looking at the quarterback. They're too busy. If he was looking, he could have picked that. But their defenders have been on their heels all night. They are terrified of these receivers going long. And the cushions I've seen, I think we might be able to run some hitch routes and make some catches.
Second down and 10 right now, as Swenson will drop back to throw. Some pressure comes, one-on-one coverage down the field. Swenson chased by Hansen, throws it up, tries to get it to Congdon. It goes incomplete, but he put it in the one spot there in the corner where his guy gets it or nobody does, and nobody got it there, brings up 3rd down.
That's a great release valve. Instead of throwing out of bounds, throw it up to Congdon. 50-50 ball, I guarantee he comes down with that 80% of the time.
Brings up 3rd down and 10. You're well in field goal range here for Spencer Red as well. If you don't pick up the first down, you need to get inside the 1. It's kind of touchdown or bust almost as Swenson throws this one to Conway, who's trying to get close to the marker, but he's going to be about a yard short.
And number 10 did a great job of picking his ankles. Because with Conway, you have to get down below the knees because he's got huge thighs. You're not going to get him down there. You got to pick those ankles.
And Spanish Fork will run the field goal team on here for a 4th and 2 from the 3-yard line. So it's going to end up being about a 20-yard kick for Spencer Red.
Yeah, which is another great thing to practice for their next game.
Conway to hold, and the kick looks good for Spencer Red, and it's through. And with 2:40 to play here in the first half, Spanish Fork leading 44-0 over the Ogden Tigers. I think Spanish Fork has scored, Jerry, on all possessions but the one that ended with the back-to-back sacks. Other than that, this Spanish Fork offense has looked very, very dominant and very, very potent.
Oh, not just the offense, but the defense. The defense has given them great field position, and they are punishing the runners for Ogden. I can't tell you how impressed I am with the total package on defense. I'm looking for a weak spot. I can't find it. And when I would watch film as the offensive coordinator, I'd look at all the individuals and find the weakness and try and pick on that. I'm finding it very hard to find a weakness in this Spanish Fork defense.
Spanish Fork, if this score holds up here, the Dons will get either Dixie or Green Canyon. If Dixie wins that one, the Dons are heading south down to St. George. If Green Canyon pulls an upset, then, well, the Dons are home for Green Canyon next week. Here on the return, a nice job by Spanish Fork. They get the nice coverage stop there inside the 30-yard line or so. And with 2:34 to play here in the half, Ogden will come out looking to try to get something going.
I think I might have to call Dixie on that one.
I would think that it would
it would be great to get a home game versus Green Canyon. 2 home games in a row.
That's one thing. Maple Mountain a couple years back when they made their run to the semifinals, I
was there.
They took advantage of having that second home game against Box Elder that helped get them into the semifinals before they took a tough loss to East up in Salt Lake City.
Exactly.
First down and 10. DeVries back to throw. Sets up the screen pass and nothing going on. Kimball Peterman read it like a book, and he had the chapter right there, and he knew the page number.
So cover 2 corners sitting hard, looking for that. You've got to get a defender on him. But he made a great play, slipping the lineman that was supposed to be coming out to get him. They had no chance.
Brings up a 2nd and 12, a 2-yard loss here. I don't have the numbers in front of me. It'd be interesting to know how many yards Ogden has tonight, because we've seen a lot of 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13, and then they'll get a 7 or 8 yard pickup, and then they'll go backwards.
I'm thinking they have probably around 50 to 70 yards.
2nd down and 12 and a penalty flag.
They got 12 again. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And we'll see here.
7, 8, 9, 10. Sideline warning?
They gave either a sideline warning or an they gave the motion, it looked like almost like an unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's what it looks like it's going to be, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Preston Parrish out wanting an explanation, and that will give Ogden a first down.
Maybe something was said. I know when defense does shifts, they yell out their shifts sometimes, and they can be called. They have been called for it's an illegal noise, snap simulation or something like that.
The defense can't say hike or go or something like that to get the snap. From my understanding, that's when they'll call that penalty. As DeVries looks over the middle. That's Gastelum, who has some space. First time we've seen him tonight in some space, and he's inside the Spanish Fork 30, brought down at about the 22-yard line.
They ran that same play down here around the 25-yard line, and it bounced off the same guy, the same number 1, bounced off his face mask or shoulder pads. I think his name is Irving Gastelum. That one, he put it right in the pocket. DeVries put it right in the pocket. Man, almost like stuck it in his face mask, made him catch it, because that was an absolute rifle. I'd like to see more of that from that quarterback instead of trying to touch it downfield, because that one was a shot.
Gastelum there now puts him over 1,000 yards on the season, so a nice season there for the senior Irving Gastelum. We're coming up here on halftime. We'll have, I think, drill team coming up here at halftime, and I'm not sure what else. The band, I believe, they're down in St. George this weekend. I think they're at their state
band competition.
Yeah, their state band competition or something down there. And so, good luck.
Where I grew up, that was huge. The band we had at my high school would have stretched from the 20 to the 20, and it was about as big as Spanish Fork.
I remember, every high school football game, the band did their on-field performance.
And American Fork still has American Fork. They, if you're serious about marching band kind of stuff, I think people will actually go to American Fork to play marching band.
Tigers looking to get something going to continue the drive. DeVries rolls out, looks downfield, now pressure, throws off his back foot, and just
good play by good smart play by the quarterback. That's what you want to see. Don't put your team in bad field position. Looks like they might have another lineman downfield again or something.
Penalty down marker at around the 15-yard line.
Illegal man down the field. which is interesting because they're not doing that. Wasn't an RPO. It wasn't a run pass option.
And that's usually when you see linemen have a little bit of a window there where they can get, but they can't be simulated downfield. The guard cannot be downfield necessarily running a pass route.
So 2 years ago, running this play where it was a run pass option, and my quarterback pulled the ball and threw it down to receiver streaking down the sideline, and I'm looking at it on film, and there's a lineman running step for step with him. That was not called. So I always told my linemen, if they call it, it's my fault on an RPO. Uh-oh, fumble.
Fumble on Spanish Fork. Ogden.
Looks like Ogden, number 5. Butler jumped on that.
The Tigers dropped the snap, had a tough time on the exchange, picked it back up, and then I think dropped it again. And we'll stop the clock here. Timeout Tigers with 54 seconds to go here in the first half.
It'd be nice to get some points on the board for Ogden. I know Spanish Fork defense always wants to keep that shutout. Always want to keep that shutout. I mean, that's a sense of pride, you know. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm going to keep those ones in and not let them score, especially in the first half. Don't let them have any momentum going into the half. Maybe ease up in the fourth quarter. You know, but you're not only trying to protect your home here, you're sending a message to the next team you face that we're going to be tough for 4 quarters. We're going to play Spanish Fork football, Don's football, for 4 quarters.
It'll be interesting, definitely, to see when you look at the Spanish Fork schedule this year. They allowed 8 points in that road game at Payson, and then 6 points against UNA. The Utes scored late in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a backbreaker because you really wanted to see that defense, especially when you got the second team and the JV guys in there to try to keep that shutout.
Yeah, really, the only thing I see about Spanish Fork is if they face a double pass.
Double pass into triple coverage, intercepted.
No one. Oh, please don't put that on the 1 foot. They put that on the 3-inch line.
And it's intercepted.
Are you kidding me? He was in the end zone. Oh, my goodness.
Zach Buse, the safety, coming up with the interception. And we'll see here. I'm not 100% sure.
He was in the end zone. It'd be nice to get a replay of that, but that was a great play. And well, it's just an opportunity now for Spanish Fork to go 99.9 yards.
And here we're just going to see that replay right here. There it is. It just didn't fool anybody. Puts it up. Let's see where Buse comes down.
He is in the end zone. His shoulder's on the white line, which means the ball has to be across the plane, right?
High snap. Swenson gets it down. He's going to take a shot.
99.9 yards. Here we go.
Ayera incomplete right there. Letting Ayera run 1 for 1 right there. That was Jonah Lowry, number 81, once again running the deep roll out there against Ayera.
Let's put Congdon out there and let's do it again. Put Congdon out there and do it again.
The tough part with that is Ayera, who has track star speed, you lose 1 step and he hits it. That's a 99-yard touchdown.
Is. You know, for him, I would run more of a slant and go than a straight up stretch.
And now it looks like we're going to see something as the 2 backs now split out. Swenson straight ahead on the quarterback keeper. He's going to have a nice first down gain out across the 15 to about the 18. A penalty flag comes in. Nice. And I think they're going to get maybe a personal foul. There was something going on between Lowry and Ayera at the top of your screen. I didn't see it because it was away from the play.
This is one of the keys. This is the second key of the game. Keep your motion in check. Be steady.
And we'll see Preston Parrish out having a conversation. What I didn't see, I just saw Ayera get up off the ground. I didn't see who instigated it and what. We'll get it all figured out here. Personal foul against Spanish Fork. Personal foul against Ogden. Those penalties will offset. And then they're going to, I believe, replay the down.
So hold your temper and you keep those 20 yards.
Instead, you're 3rd and 10 from your 1.
That's
or from the half-yard line or so.
You know, and you got to understand that when you retaliate, if you retaliate, I understand if you did not instigate it, to retaliate, you're actually hurting your team. You're being selfish against your teammates. You can't do that.
Swenson throws this one to
That's a
Conway
score.
on the slant.
That's a
Conway
score. See ya, baby. See ya.
Conway makes
go.
the move.
Come on, Noah, go.
Breaks another tackle.
Come on, Noah,
And he
go.
will be pulled down at about the 35-yard line with 16 seconds on the clock right here. No penalty flags, and so now Spanish Fork will have to go quickly, and a quick decision time coming here. I think if you're Spanish Fork, the Dons want a timeout.
You know, hey, you do what you got to do first half. You play it like it's 0-0, and you keep stepping on the gas. Maybe fourth quarter you ease up, but you have to play for the future games. And it's up to the defense to stop you. I'm sorry, and the score can get out of hand, you know, but you have to do what you have to do.
There's a difference, though, between running up the score. Obviously, 5 seconds left fourth quarter. You're not calling a timeout there to try to score.
Right.
There's a difference between running up the score and just running your offense, and the defense just can't stop it.
Yeah, onside kicks and everything is go in the first half. I say in the first 3 quarters, everything. Fourth quarter, if you're up by 3 or 4 scores, maybe ease off a bit. But still, if you've got that goose egg in the fourth quarter, even when you put the JV in, it's a sense of pride. You got to keep that goose egg.
Well, and it's hard too because you get that second team in, you get the JV in there. It's their opportunity to run the offense as they're on the varsity field.
And they're training for next year.
How are you doing them really a favor almost, or a disservice, if you go out there and say, you know, most guys in a program as a quarterback can hand the ball off to somebody.
Exactly.
You know, but if you're not
Train
running
that quarterback.
if you're not running the offense,
and as an opposing team that is down, do you really want someone to patronize you?
here's the throwback pass. Conway is going to be pulled down back at the 42 with 8 seconds on the clock. And Spanish Fork, I think, is going to call another timeout. Well, whistles are blowing. They just stopped the clock now at 1.2. We'll see. They may try to put some.
They're putting 2.2 seconds on it. 5.2 seconds.
5.2. I think they want 5.2 timeout Spanish Fork.
I got to put my glasses. I forgot where my glasses were.
So a very interesting play call there, nonetheless.
Well, these are I know Ogden and Ogden fans are probably going to be upset about it, but this is an opportunity you have to practice these plays in a live situation when someone is really trying to stop you from scoring. It's different. It's different practicing against your JV or the practice squad. Here you get real live against a good opponent to see how these things work in live action. Now, if they did that in the fourth quarter, I may have an issue with it. But still, you know, show up and stop it if you don't like it.
Second down and 10, 5.2 seconds to go here in the first half. Or Ogden, they're going to just kind of drop, I think, potentially 3. Well, no, I thought they were just going to drop 3 safeties over the top, and that's essentially what they're going to do almost. Just drop guys into like quarters, I think.
Yeah, they're going to put 4 deep and then linebackers underneath. Linebackers underneath to the outside.
Swenson looking for Iero.
Touchdown, baby.
He
had it.
Iero is out there, had beaten Cooper Crabtree, and that will end the first half. We've played 1 from Spanish Fork High School. It's the Dons 44, the Ogden Tigers 0. You're watching high school football here on Spanish Fork 17. We're coming back with the drill team and the halftime show here on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jack's Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jack's Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, my name is Greg Driggs. I'm the local manager for Prime Mortgage Lending, where our motto is find a path to yes. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Championship drill team. And now, welcome onto the field your Spanish Fork High School cheerleaders. Give it up for the Spanish Fork cheerleaders.
Well, that concludes our halftime show here from Spanish Fork High School. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll recheck our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game. We'll check some scores from throughout the state, and we'll get you ready for the second half. You're watching high school football here on Spanish Fork 17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, my name is Greg Driggs. I'm the local manager for Prime Mortgage Lending, where our motto is find a path to yes. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Billy, welcome everybody back here at halftime on Spanish Fork 17. Ryan Pickens alongside Jerry Huffman as we welcome you in right now. Where Spanish Fork leading at the half by a score of 44-0 over the Ogden Tigers. And boy, what a
I didn't expect it, but I did expect it. Looking at the competition that Ogden had played, they're a great team and they're progressing. But I can see that the offense is still in the install stage. With the new coaching staff and stuff like that, things aren't as crisp as they should be. Once they get a quarterback that's been in the system for 2 or 3 years, coming up through the youth program or freshman program, I see big things happening for Ogden. But looking at their plays, I identified maybe 4 or 5 different plays run from different formations, but still need a lot of work on their execution. Whereas Spanish Fork, man, they've been running this now for 3 years under Coach Preston and just bringing things over from the Brandon brothers, and it looks really crisp. And they've got outstanding athletes that when things fall apart, you can still make a play happen.
And really, when you take a look at it and you break it down, Eric Thompson, his second year, coached, I believe, 12 years at Northridge up there. And then, he, I believe, played at Roy High School, which another local team tomorrow, Maple Mountain, will get the Royals in that one up. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff up at Roy High School. But when you take a look at it, how important really is and how long does it take to install an offense? Even if you do it all throughout the spring and through summer, through 7-on-7, it's still hard to install an offense in 1 year.
Because you cannot install a run game during the summer. You cannot. I mean, you can do all your passing game, but if you're a team like Ogden, where you're going to hang your hat on inside run, you can't really practice that, competitively. And 7-on-7 is great, but it's not real football. You've got linebackers at 7 to 10 yards depth. It's like you're playing third down and long every play. And it is more catered to the offense. You can't really get into practice. So installing an offense, it's nice when you start going up against bags and get everyone to make the right reads. But to understand what it takes to install an offense. So I can give you
give us a timeline. How do you go about installing?
Okay, so a simple play that I want to install is called an inside zone. Okay, that's with the quarterback and running back, and then say we're going to run it to the left, and you have your left offensive tackle, left guard, and center. They're responsible for the first 3 on this side, the defensive end, the play side linebacker, and the play side D tackle. They're responsible for those guys, and the 2 backside guys combo to either the defensive tackle, backside defensive tackle, to linebacker, and leave the DN for the quarterback to read. That play, what I just described back there, was one play against one formation. Okay, that's a 4-2 formation. Now there's a 3-3 formation. There's a 3-4 formation. What do I do in this situation? So that one play could take a whole week to install, just that one play. As you're trying to install the complements to that play, like the speed option, because for every play you want to have a counter to it. Right. So just to put that one inside zone package in the package, the one play probably take a week, but the whole package, it would probably take 2 to 3 weeks.
And then you're talking about doing that to maybe 12 or 15 packages, have somewhere around 150 plays that you have somewhere in your back pocket.
Oh,
that's at least,
Exactly. But at this level, if you have 4 plays that you run really well, hang your hat on it, because defenses are pretty vanilla here, and especially in South County area. Everyone plays a 4-2-5 or a 3-3-5, which looks a lot like a 3-4, which is kind of the same blocking scheme. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong, because I love the 4-2, and if I was a defense coordinator, that's what I would run, because it's very effective against the spread that everyone runs down here as well.
Right.
But installing it, when you install it, okay, you're installing it against your practice guys, so you know those guys every day. Now you're stepping in against a linebacker that is maybe twice as strong as your practice guy, twice as fast. It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, and it kind of changes things when you talk about, okay, they're in a 4-2-5, but that fifth corner, that fifth safety really is more of a hybrid linebacker that kind of steps in.
Yep.
It kind of changes things, and so it's not something that necessarily. Sometimes you have to look out 2 or 3 years, and Preston Parrish and his offense has had to do that, and now you're starting to see that rewards now that head coach Preston Parrish is in his 3rd year.
Right, and what I see from Coach Parrish in his defense, he has a 4-2-5. Looks like they have a true nickel that covers the second receiver to the wide side. But he's got the personnel; he can take some chances. He can be aggressive because he has freaking standing DBs and safeties, corners and safeties. That group, really the only weakness I can see in it, and it's if they go against a bigger offensive line, a big physical offensive line, of which Springville does not have this year. Of course, they're not in the same region, but that has been the success people have had against everybody's arch nemesis Springville, was that being able to run against that big defensive line. But Spanish Fork's defensive speed over power, but it's working great in this game because it counteracts Ogden's speed, because they're not very big either.
It'll be very interesting to kind of see right here. Let's take a look at our Triple T heating, cooling, and plumbing keys to the game and kind of do a halftime report card on it. We talked about stopping the Ogden running attack. Really, what you wanted to do is make the Tigers throw the football.
Exactly.
And tonight they have really gotten Ogden out of the run.
Except for that one slant across the middle that they doinked off the receiver the first time, but it looked outstanding the second time. I mean, you can't be 50-50 on those. If they're consistent in that, maybe you can hang your hat on that. But they have definitely stopped the running attack. Stay steady. Don't let emotions dictate the game. We saw a little bit of that in the end of the first half. Got a little chippy between Iyer and number 8 for the Tigers. Can't let that happen. Can't let emotions dictate the game. Otherwise, you're going to have penalties. And penalties, I always say, are selfish. Okay, you're now thinking more of yourself than the team, and you can't do that. This is the ultimate team sport. Okay, and the third one, be physical, set the tone, protect this house, and I think Spanish Fork has done an outstanding job doing that. That linebacker, 36, Ben Boyack. Oh my goodness, when he fills. He doesn't just want to wrap you up. He wants to put you 6 feet under when he tackles you. And that seems to be catching with the whole Spanish Fork defense, because they are very stingy when it comes to yardage.
See Spanish Fork coming back onto the field here. They put 3 more minutes on the clock, so we're 3 minutes away from kickoff here in the second half. And really, when you take a look at it right now, if you're head coach Eric Thompson and the Ogden Tigers, what's your game plan going into the second half?
I would try and use this as a practice for next year, really. I would keep my starters in for the third quarter, try and execute my offense that I know we do. Inside run, screen game, maybe screen slip, take a chance deep, and let's see if we can get a couple scores. with our first offense before we put the JV offense in the fourth quarter and just try and get better for next year. Execute and see the things that the staff needs to work on as a whole.
Preston Parish and Spanish Fork in that first half, hard to find stuff that maybe didn't go the Dons' way. However, knowing that you're 24 minutes or so away from a second-round playoff game, what do you do if you're Preston Parish and the Dons?
I would just keep my foot on the pedal. I'm sorry to say that you're always playing, trying to improve, and you don't really improve by. How do you tell kids not to play as hard? Right. If you're going to have them in there, they're going to play hard. And for third quarter, you got to put them in there. You got to try and score. You got to practice things that you're going to use against for next week.
Yeah, let's go ahead. We'll take a quick break here on Spanish Fork 17. When we come back, we will have the second half. You're watching high school football on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
When we get ready for the start of the second half, Ryan Pickens alongside Jerry Huffman. Spanish Fork will receive the ball to start the second half here, and I think they're going to put the hands team on the field. I think might be expecting an onside kick here coming from the Ogden Tigers. The game, of course, that Spanish Fork really cares about right here. Some interesting scores going out. Orem has already won. The Tigers have moved on. At the Springville leading at Box Elder 17-13. That's an important one right there. Just for our neighbors to the north in Springville. Park City leading Salem Hills 28-24. That one 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Mountain View trailing Stansbury in the fourth quarter 43-29. And then Orem defeated Tooele 68-12. So the Tigers are moving on, which will be a fun one. They will get the winner of Desert Hills Mountain Crest. That one just about ready to kick. Well, they kicked about 35 minutes ago down at Desert Hills High School. So it's a long trip.
Is it Dixie that they're matched up if they win this game?
Spanish Fork, yeah, Dixie or Green Canyon.
I thought it was the Pineview Logan matchup, but
kind of interesting to see the region furthest south matched with the region furthest north here in this one. But we're set and ready to go. Cooper Crabtree will put a foot into it for Ogden. They'll kick this one deep. Ira will take it from about the 10-yard line. Out across the 20 to the 25, and he'll be escorted out of bounds at around the 27. And that's where Spanish Fork will start. Now, here in the second half, it's a 44-0 lead. The clock will run here for the most part here in that second half.
Yeah,
so
barring changes in possession, it'll stop, and of course timeouts. And if somebody scores, I think it'll stop until.
That Uinta Spanish Fork game, at the request of the coaches, they just let the clock run.
Yeah.
Apparently at the request of the coaches. Not sure what the request was of both coaches here, but that clock running right now.
It was a new coaching staff, I think, last year for Uinta.
Brandon Congdon makes the catch, and he gets out to the 45 for a first down.
They had a bit of an uprising over there, Uinta. A lot of kids that played last year did not play this year. I think they just wanted to focus on wrestling, and that really hurt that Uinta program.
First and 10 from the 45. Here's Kimball Morley. He breaks the tackle and then is brought down. Getting there was number 20, Jeff Orris.
See, that's an inside run. You have to, instead of bouncing that outside, go straight forward, fall down, give me 2 yards. As an offensive guy, if you get 3 yards, I'm happy. 3 times 4 is 12, first down.
Here's Noah Conway. He gets outside on the screen pattern, and he's just going to be pushed out of bounds for No gain. I think, got back to the line of scrimmage. Might have got a half-yard favorable spot.
That number 2 could have put a big hit on him, but he kind of slowed up and danced with Conway for a while.
Bring up third down at about 9. Swenson throws this one over towards the sideline. Has a man. That's going to be enough for a first down, as just getting past him and just having the jersey pulled on there was Trey Lofton. That's enough for a first down.
Yeah, those 12 back to 10 hitches are going to be there all day with the corners playing soft, middle of the field. It'll tighten up in the red zone, but until then, I mean, look at the cushion they're giving him on the snap of the ball.
High snap over the head of Swenson, and he'll fall on it back at his own 40-yard line. And that might be the thing that you look at on film and say you want to clean up right here.
Exactly. I've seen quite a few high snaps, and when it really matters, that can really kill a drive.
Bring up second down and about 26 or so.
That's interesting because they're not lining up anyone over the center.
Swenson pressure, just throws it off his back foot, threw it up for grabs. It's tipped, and it goes incomplete. Almost tipped into the hands there, I believe, of Trey Lofton.
I think there might be a holding call on the Dons.
There's a penalty back at about the 35.
And if it's the penalty, if it's holding there, it's 10 yards from that spot. So we're looking at probably a second down and 30, 40 yards. So, looking at my playbook, find my second down and 40 play.
4 verticals, I am.
Throw it up to Congdon. That's my play.
I mean,
that's my play.
I mean, really, in those kind of situations, there's really not much else in the playbook. I mean, I guess you can try to pick up 20, 25.
Yeah, this one, you pick up 10, 15. Maybe a hitch and go.
4 wide receivers for Spanish Fork.
The cushion they're giving Congdon.
Here's Kimball Morley out of the backfield, and
that's a good way to get almost half of it back.
He'll get out to the 40. He'll pick up about 15.
Well, I'm looking at this defense, and this number 2 is playing Congdon 10 yards deep and outside, and the safety is 20 yards inside. If he just runs some sort of inside post slant, that is 6 points.
They get it out here to Conway on the screen pass, and Conway's going to be brought down. It took about 3. The ball, it looks like they're going to say
I think he was down.
May have came loose. The officials are going to call fumble, and it's going to Ogden.
Really? I thought he was down, but
it seemed like the ball came out late because the Tiger had to recovered it, had to jump in there, and we'll see if we have this.
There might have been something I couldn't see that was coming loose as he went down, but
I'm gonna wait and see if we have a replay on this. No replay. Okay, so be 1st and 10 for Ogden right here as the Tigers will, I think, force their first turnover of the evening.
And that's what you want out of your runner, is to work for every yards, but ball security is the key. Ball security is the key. Let's see what Ogden can do now.
Back to throw with some time, rolling away, looking downfield. DeVries will run it out of bounds. He'll pick up a couple, and he's just going to be escorted out of bounds.
Good coverage by the Dons downfield. Great job flushing the quarterback by Josh Traffney. Seems like there's an interior lineman that gets free for the Dons. I think I'd pin my ears back and come get him once again.
Be second down at about 8.
Yeah, if Ogden's going to keep trying to pass to get back in this game, you better believe pressure's going to be coming.
DeVries back to throw with some time.
Great defense. There is nobody open down there.
Well, now just throw it up. Somebody comes open at the last minute.
Did he? Nope.
It's going to go incomplete.
There looked like there's 5 defenders downfield and 3 receivers, and all of them covered. Great coverage by the Dons.
So bring up 3rd down and 8 here for the Ogden Tigers. Clock running. We're under 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter.
So now you got, instead of getting half of it on maybe a run or something, the clock's going to run anyway, so it doesn't matter. Now you're looking at a 3rd and long situation. Stay within what you do best.
So here it is. It's going to be 3rd down and 8. Ball on the 41-yard line.
You got max protect running backs in the backfield. I doubt if they'll go downfield because they're just picking up the blitz.
3-step drop. It's intercepted.
Yep, pick
Coming
six.
back, Caleb Lundquist.
Pick six.
And he will score. Touchdown, Spanish Fork. This one, a pick 6 coming to the house.
That was just, he was waiting for that all day. As soon as that receiver hitched up, he made a break on the ball. Threw it right to him.
And it's 50-0 Spanish Fork here with 5:21 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
You know, there's only 3 things that can happen when you throw that football, and 2 of them are bad.
So now Spencer Red will come on for the extra point. Ready to go. The extra point is through the uprights and good. And with 5:08 to play, it's 51-0 Spanish Fork. And I think the plan's just going to be let that clock run.
Let the clock run.
So a nice job there. We've seen everything so far tonight, but a special teams touchdown now for Spanish Fork. As the Dons look like they're going to be destined, Jerry, to be heading down next week to Dixie.
I think so.
Dixie, or I should say Dixie or Green Canyon.
Right.
That's a 1 versus 4 matchup that kicks at 7. The Flyers are a team that historically has been one of those teams that can find a way to get to the state championship. They've had a really good run down there. So we'll see what happens in that one.
Yeah, the new coach over at Timpview came from Dixie.
Had a successful run down there, and he's got Timpview in the playoffs, but not an easy first-round matchup for Timpview this year, going to Highland.
Highland's always got. I remember my son played for Spanish Fork back in early 2000s, and Highland was their first playoff game, and they had some big Poly boys. Spanish Fork still took care of business, though.
The Dons have not been out of the first round for a while. You have to go back to 2012. Was the last time the Dons were out or were past the first round of the playoffs. 2013, they lost to Corner Canyon. 2014, they lost to Maple Mountain. 2015, they lost to East. 2016, they didn't make the playoffs. And last year, they lost a 3-point game here at home to Ridgeline. So the official here is... There it is. Okay, we're trying to look here to see where now the official will head back to his position with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So it should be fun to kind of see here what happens here the rest of the way, as this one kick will go deep.
That's playable.
And it'll be returned. Gastelum's going to bring it from about the 5. Across the 15, and then he's going to be brought down right around the 20-yard line or so, the 21. Spanish Fork's trying to say a fumble, but there's a penalty flag that comes in at the end of the play. Huh. So right there, they're going to...
No indication yet what the penalty is or who it's against. Looks like they're running it off against the or walking off against the Dons.
And so we'll kind of see what happens here. We're sorting some confusion, it looks like, between how they're going to run the clock right here.
Maybe a face mask or something?
Right here. It looks like it's going to be a face mask penalty right here. And that's going to bring it out to right around the 38-yard line. So 4:37 to go, 4th quarter. Or 3rd quarter, I mean. Here's Hansen up the middle.
There we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what they do best. Inside zone, inside run.
And Hansen will have a first down right there.
And he's been great all year at hitting front side, posting, and then cutting it back against the grain and getting yards just like that.
And just kind of looking at it, it looks like Spanish Fork has started to put some of those second-team guys in there. That Don's defense right here.
Oh yeah, a whole new set of DBs that I see.
All over the place. So Spanish Fork right now it looks like they want to.
Oh, whole new linebacker core as well.
Here's the give right up the middle. Not much going on as it was getting there was number 31, Holden King, immediately getting there to make the stop. Brings up 2nd and 10. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11 here. A loss of 1 there on 1st down. So it will make sure, one thing the second half, it will go quick here on your Friday night.
It will.
A 5 o'clock kickoff. It's almost 7 o'clock here in Spanish Fork. Bring up 2nd down and 11. Back to throw with some time. DeVry sets it up. Here's Hansen on the screen pass, and Hansen again picks up another nice play just there on the simple screen.
Do you think if they get inside the 20, you think Coach will put the first team defense back in again?
I would doubt it, just because I don't know if you want to risk at this point any injuries happening.
That's true. That is more important than keeping the goose egg.
So at this point now, you have to think about playing again in 7 days with a spot in the state semifinals on the line. 1st and 10, ball on the 37-yard line to Spanish Fork. DeVry's back to throw. Pressures come, rolls back to the 50, looking downfield still. Takes a shot, has a man out there. It's almost intercepted.
He had good position, tried to catch it with his knees.
And that was number 84, McCade Davis, that tried to come up with it, and that one goes incomplete. Brings up 2nd down. Good coverage that deep, though.
Yeah, he was where he was supposed to be. But with hands like that, that's why we have a defense, right?
So it brings up 2nd down and 10. Two minutes and 51 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Bunch formation to the left.
Here's Hansen on the carry.
Inside zone, backside.
Cuts it up the middle, and Hansen picks up a good 4 or 5 yards. The sun's pretty much set behind us here. Lights taking over most of the field here at Spanish Fork.
Friday night lights. Nothing like it in the whole world.
Third down and 6 coming up. Ogden probably definitely in 2-down territory here. Hansen will go and join DeVry's in the backfield. DeVry's rolling out, looking downfield, looking like he's trying to find somebody. Makes the man miss, and now we'll take a backside hit.
Throw it away.
Right there.
Away. You were out of the way, oh, looks like a flag on the field.
If it did, I think it might have.
Right there on the 35 near side.
I think it may have came in late. Given the look, it's going to be a hold against Ogden.
Yeah, you can't blame the lineman for that. When you got a quarterback scrambling, you're trying to protect him. And I'd take that penalty to protect my quarterback.
So Ogden wants to take a timeout here. The minute 52 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll take a moment here to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible here each and every Friday night here on Spanish Fork 17.
I'd like to thank Prime Mortgage Lending, Mikhail Christiansen and Wise, Attorneys at Law, Two Jacks Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Lance Wilson State Farm, and Blue Diamond Auto Group.
So we thank them for their help throughout our high school sports season. High school basketball just a few weeks away here on Spanish Fork 17, which
thank you guys so much for giving us the opportunity to come up and give our opinions about things. All things football.
As we get ready, it'd be nice to be back indoors for some high school hoops and that as well. Spanish Fork looking to continue to build their program, and Brandon Congdon will be back on the floor here in just a couple of weeks for the Dons. Maple Mountain looks to regroup as well. DeVry's looking downfield here, has a man right at the marker. That's going to be pretty close to a 1st down.
See this? Where was this earlier? The little 5-yard hitches. I like those. And he's sprinting to his right where he can actually. Doesn't have to square up backside to throw the ball.
That's the hard part, is when you're going to your left and you're throw right, you're having to throw all the way across your body, take some of that momentum away, and it's just kind of.
Or you could be like Patrick Mahomes for Kansas City Chiefs and throw with your left hand if you have to.
So looks like it's gonna be. They're talking to DeVries right here. The Spanish Fork offense, it looks like, has come onto the field. And what I don't know is that. I thought that was third. I didn't think that was fourth down, but it's going to be a turnover on downs, and the ball goes to Spanish Fork.
So who is the quarterback for Spanish Fork over there?
So Kimball Morley looks like he's going to line up at the quarterback position.
Are we in the Wildcat?
Well, he's in the pistol formation right here. Marco Williams is the D-back. This is interesting. Zach Dart has been the backup. And first down play is going to go backwards for Spanish Fork.
Is that our JV line out there?
Marco Williams.
There's some big boys. Because those defenders were on that mesh really quick.
Looks like a lot of the reserve linemen in there. But we haven't seen Kimball Morley play a lot of quarterback. It's usually been Zach Dart, the freshman. However, here we're seeing Morley. He's going to look to throw, steps up in the pocket, now takes off.
Quarterback draw.
Makes
touchdown.
a man miss, and he's into the open field. It's a foot race, and Kimball Morley is gone.
No.
Touchdown, Spanish Fork. The Dons add to it here in the fourth, or here in the third.
You can put 200 more yards distance, and he'd still beat him.
Morley takes that one 75 yards for the touchdown. And now they'll run on the extra point team here with 34 seconds to go in the third.
Yeah, can't expect him to hold up. He sees a lane. He's got to take it to the house. The only way you can stop the Spanish Fork offense is to take them out.
Noah Conway to hold. Ogden has too many men on the field. They'll now get the last man off just in the right time. And here's Spencer Red with the extra point. Looks good from here. And a nice job. 58-0 Spanish Fork here with 34.3 to go in the third quarter.
Hey, do the cheerleaders do the push-ups for touchdowns? You're going to have some big old biceps.
You know, the Duck for the University of Oregon back in the heyday when Chip Kelly and them, they were putting up 50 or 60. Boy, that mascot was doing a lot of push-ups.
Well, pretty soon we'll start counting by 10.
And I wish I could remember the number, but he would easily get, because they were scoring at that time 50, 60 points a game, and he was doing 7 for a touchdown and a field goal, then 14 more, then 21.
So at the BYU games, the ROTC, they fire that cannon, they do the push-ups, and the cheerleaders are right there doing next to them. And last year, BYU put up some points, and ROTC's rocking them out, and some of those cheerleaders are struggling.
34 seconds to go here, and Spanish Fork will kick it back to the Ogden Tigers. For Ogden, it might be a pretty long bus ride back home tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's always tough whenever you lose to have that bus ride, but the bigger the loss, this difference in the spread and how you've played sometimes makes a big difference in how enjoyable that bus ride is back.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of the starters for Ogden are seniors, and it's really tough to go out on a game like this.
Cooper Crabtree on the return across the 15, gets outside and then gets tripped up around the 16-yard line. And Luke Evans on the tackle. The officials.
There's a flag. Can't remember number 30, was it? Got tangled with Ogden player, so we'll see what they call.
I didn't see the penalty flag.
It was clearly after. About 15 yards down the field.
And it's going to go against Spanish Fork, it looks like. First down, Ogden. So 19 seconds to go in the third quarter. We'll probably have one more play, and then we'll get ready to go here for the fourth quarter. As we will await then to find out the opponent, whether it will be Dixie, whether it will be Green Canyon. If it's Dixie, then Spanish Fork's hitting the road next week to St. George. Here's the pitch outside. Hansen going to try to turn the corner, makes the man miss, and gets out of bounds across the 40-yard line or so. So a nice pickup there on first down.
You got number 70 blocking way downfield, doing his job, and number 43 for Spanish Fork didn't like getting blocked, kind of retaliated a little bit, but you can't do that. Got to shed the block, make the play.
And that will end the third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter here at Spanish Fork High School. It's the Dons 58, Ogden 0. You're watching high school football on Spanish Fork 17.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, my name is Greg Driggs. I'm the local manager for Prime Mortgage Lending, where our motto is find a path to yes. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Start of the fourth quarter here on Spanish Fork 17. Right now, Spanish Fork on top of Ogden 58-0 here in the fourth quarter, as Ogden right now looking to pick up this first down here outside. That's going to be a run, not good enough for a first down, and tackle from behind by Langford. As right there it was, that's Chase Butler.
Awful close to a horse collar.
But Butler has enough there for a first down. So the clock will stop briefly while they reset everything, and then they'll start rolling the clock again. It'll be first down and 10 here. 11:33 to go here in the ball game. Ogden trying to get on the scoreboard here. End on a positive note. I formation set. Pressure comes rolling downfield, looking, has a man out there, and that's going to be caught inside the 20. It's going to be a nice completion downfield, a good pickup for, that's Jackson Allred, his first catch of the evening. A nice pickup there, and Ogden's inside the Prime Mortgage Lending red zone for the first time tonight.
He just found a nice soft spot between the safeties, sat down. Quarterback found him.
Be first and 10 for Ogden at the 16-yard line. 10 minutes, or 10:55 to go, fourth quarter. DeVries will be under center. Here, ready to go. Here's the give.
Inside trap handoff.
Hansen trying to get outside. A good pursuit there.
Now that was one of those plays that Spanish Fork used a lot last year, that inside trap, kind of an inside reverse. You have all the receivers on the left, running back going to the left, and that little slot back inside comes underneath. They got a lot of yards on that.
A lot of work there for Hansen for no gain. Brings up second and 10. Coming up in our post-game show, we'll wrap this one up. We'll have our MVP Sports MVP of the game. And we'll get you set for the next week's contest for Spanish Fork. Second out of 10 coming up. 4 wide receivers coming up here for Ogden. DeVries rolls out. Looks downfield, has a man. That's incomplete. Looking, I believe, for Gastelum, number 1. And now going complete, brings up third down.
So many missed opportunities. A lot of those balls look catchable.
Gastelum has found a way to kind of get it going at times tonight. Just hasn't. It's just been tough for Ogden to get consistency going.
That's exactly what you need, is consistency.
It's just struggled with that. There have been times when they've showed moments where it looked like, hey, we might kind of get things going, but then they couldn't figure it out. 3rd down and 10. Man goes in motion. That's Butler rolling away from it. DeVry's going to try to throw back to the backside, and now he'll just run out of bounds. He'll get a yard, maybe 2, to bring up 4th and about 8 or so.
What do you think? Field goal? Get some points on the board, or you try and go for it?
It would be about a 25-yard kick. I think they're probably just going to end up going for it. DeVry's going over towards the sideline. 16 on the play clock, so they're going to have to hurry pretty quick, and Ogden's just going to use a timeout.
I think they're going to call a timeout. They're going to think about it. It'd be a 32-yard field goal with the 7 yards they mark off for the snap. I have no idea what their ability is like making field goals.
I think I would almost just take the field goal try here and try to maybe get something positive on the board, get some points, because really right now what you want to do, you would like to end your season on a high note. Maybe get some points on the board, force a turnover, get the ball back,
right,
head in a positive direction, and, let these seniors, the one thing I will say from Ogden that I never really like to see games end this
lopsided?
This lopsided. However, I do like it if they do get this lopsided to not see teams quit, and I really haven't seen Ogden quit.
No. And they've kept their bearing. A lot of times when these things get like this, the emotions get high, they get a little ticked off and try and take cheap shots, but coaching staff has maintained discipline on the team, and I think that's the first step in developing a great team.
So 8 minutes and 51 seconds to go in this one. The clock running here on the ready to play from the official. It'll be 4th down and 9 here, and Ogden looks like they're going to go for it. They're in the I formation. We've seen a lot of play action in this case, and DeVries rolls away. He's going to try to keep it, throws this one. It's almost intercepted.
Oh, did that go off of the...
And it did, and it's going to be caught in the end zone for an Ogden touchdown.
I thought 41, it was 43. I thought he had that. It went right through his hands.
So Ogden's going to get on the scoreboard. Gastelum, number 1, came up with it on the tip ball. And the Tigers are on the board. Touchdown, Ogden.
Yeah, Tage Langford had a beat on that ball. A little high, he had to go up for a little bit, slipped through his fingers, and lucky for Ogden, right into the hands of Gastelum.
Gastelum, his 13th touchdown of the year. And now I think Ogden's going to go for 2. They're going to move the ball to the left hash.
Oh, let's see. Let's do the math. 58 to 60, you go for 1 or 2. Does the math sheet for 2-point plays go that high?
And what I wouldn't be surprised, Jerry, is to see something similar to the touchdown play.
Yeah.
Some kind of rollout. Give DeVries, and now they're going to move the football, looks like, to the other side. Now they'll run the clock.
Which is weird. That is.
Right here, Ogden's going to roll the dice.
Usually this is an time down.
I formation, and here's the give. Trying to get to the outside. Hansen's in for the 2-point conversion.
Pull a guard, pitch it, get outside, outrun the defense. 2-point conversion.
And that's the speed that we saw from this Tiger team. However, they're able to find a way to score, and with 8:10 to go in the 4th quarter, the ball will be coming back to the Spanish Fork Dons.
So you're saying there's a chance.
So right here, we'll get ready to kick this one away here in the 4th quarter. If you're Spanish Fork at this point, Jerry, it's probably the second team guys coming in having an opportunity to run the clock out.
I think you'll see the freshmen in there. I don't think Spanish Fork wants to take another chance of a starting varsity running back running another 80, 70-yard touchdown and just kind of adding insult to injury here. I think you'll see, the backups going. But when you put the backups in, I would like to open that playbook, still throw the ball. Clock's running, it doesn't matter, right?
And you can throw. I mean, when you say throw the ball, you can throw some slants. You can some curl routes. Get them a couple of easy ones.
These are your guys for next year. Get them some good in-game training, and especially with the clock running, it makes no difference when you run it or pass it. Actually. You know, if you pass it incomplete, you stop the clock, and that's what the frustration gets with the other team. Just let the clock run. You know, but since it's a running clock, open up the playbook. Don't do any trick plays or anything. I would, you know, I could probably draw the line at that, but you know, I would maybe even get your JV coach in there to maybe call some plays. You know, just make it a whole experience for that group, a learning experience. Oh, onside kick. Oh.
And now
It went 10 yards, but I think somebody was offsides.
And now the flags will come into play. The clock was running, so I think we'll have to. I believe that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and they'll re-kick.
Yep.
They'll just say get that.
They would have had that though. They had the numbers, and it looked like that one kick that the Colts did many years ago. They spread everybody out, and the kicker kicked it to himself. Went 10 yards out, and he covered it himself.
And you're starting to see that become.
Can't remember that guy's name. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's starting to become a lot more popular to do that.
Yes.
Just kick it and just kind of let I think it was Maple Mountain earlier tried that this year.
They did try it this year.
And
unsuccessfully. But
yeah.
I could see what they were trying to do, and it just didn't go quite far enough.
So they'll kick it back. They'll move it back to the 35-yard line here, and they'll re-kick it now. And this is probably a situation where we might just kick it deep because now Spanish Fork's probably expecting the outside kick.
Yeah, you have to have even numbers on both sides of the football now at all levels. Well, they try it again.
They try the onside kick
like
again.
They might have it.
We'll see who comes away with it here as they sort out the pile.
Nobody expects you to do that twice.
And Ogden's got it. It's Tiger football.
Well, looks like it just gives the defense a little bit of time to get some redemption for that score they let happen.
And the Tigers will come on the field here now.
I think the Tigers are still rolling with their ones.
Spanish Fork will get the second team guys some looks right here. They've started to run that clock. Right here as DeVries will come back out. Hansen in the back, field to the right. DeVries back to throw with some time, looking over the middle. Has a man. That's complete.
That same play to number one.
And Gastelum not going down easy right there, still on his feet. And he's going to be brought down at the Spanish Fork about 35-yard line. Again, Jerry going back to that slant.
Yep. The inside guy runs the seam, clears it out. Outside guy runs underneath.
And you just have to kind of wonder if Ogden had been able to maybe run that efficiently first quarter, second quarter maybe. They might have kept this one closer. At least maybe had some momentum a couple of moments in the ball game. But
well, they've had several times where the quarterback has put it on the money and it's just been straight up dropped.
Here's again that trap play. Hansen on the carry, and he's going to now cut it back to the outside part of the field. He's looking for the corner to the 15, loose. To the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Tigers.
You've got to ankle pick that guy. 84 kind of expecting contact. Ducks his head, loses sight of the runner.
Hansen's 17th touchdown of the season right there as he just finds a way to get to the end zone. And now the Tigers potentially going to go for two here.
And another onside kick.
Very quickly, Ogden, 14 unanswered points right here. Biggest thing hurting Ogden right now, Jerry, is the fact that that clock is.
Well, they got to get up to 24 if they want to stop that. Which that now I see 3 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. That's 24 points. That stops the clock.
Moving outside, here's DeVries, dives in for the 2-point conversion.
Hey, these guys, they're not done.
And a nice job there by DeVries, the quarterback, taking it on the rollout. And it's 58-16 Spanish Fork with 6:06 to go, or 6:08 to go in the fourth quarter.
Let's see if we get some number ones in there on the hands team, at least for the kickoff. Because I think Spanish Fork was still backing off the line on that second attempt of the onside kick.
And I kind of wondered if maybe there was some ideas within Spanish Fork.
You got Noah Conway out there. Yep, they're done with that business. We're going to put starters in at least for the onside kick, which is smart. You know, and then put your second offense in.
The thing you don't want to do here is you don't want to give Ogden too much momentum back here in the next, 4 or 5 minutes where.
I mean, there's virtually no chance of them doing it. Now it's a point of pride. You're not going to come into our house, onside kick on us 3 times.
Score.
And score,
And the biggest thing you want to do, you don't want to practice bad habits.
Exactly.
So Crabtree will kick this one away.
Try it again.
Here's the onside kick with Spanish Fork on this one. Ben Boyack coming up with it immediately.
And that's the end of that business. Now bring the second offense in. Get a few first downs. Run out the clock. Maybe get a score with an all second team. Get them some legitimate practice.
And we'll see who's coming out to run the second team quarterback. It's the freshman Zach Dart, who will come in. He ran the offense against Uinta in the fourth quarter.
Oh, he looks like a quarterback.
6 foot, 180-pound freshman. Here's the give straight up the middle, and nothing going on first down.
Hey, he knows he can pull that, right? I mean, that defensive end crashed hard. There was nobody outside if he would have pulled that.
Instead, it would be a loss of 5.
You never know. Coaches might just say, give it. Just give it. Don't get fancy. But, hey, practice, practice, practice.
You don't want to get into a position where, say, your backup quarterback gets hurt this week and for some reason somebody gets hurt the week after.
Yep.
You don't want to start causing those kind of issues in late in the season in the playoffs. Dart will throw it here and threw this one high, incomplete, trying to get it out to number 13, Luke Evans, and that will bring up third down and 14.
Yeah, that's just a little out route. Well covered by Ogden, who still have their starters in.
And those starters are playing very hard.
Well, most of them are seniors. It's a sense of pride, and they're staying disciplined. They're not cheap shotting. And I appreciate that coaching staff has great discipline on that team, and you can tell they coach that. That can be a great sense of pride.
Marco Williams on the carry, and the second time this possession, he's going to be driven back for a big loss. Williams brought down. They're going to mark him at the 39-yard line. Another loss of 5 yards, and that will bring up fourth down, and that will bring on a punt situation here with Riker Barton, number 81. And I think, if I remember correctly, this is the first time we've seen Spanish Fork punt tonight.
It is.
Because we've seen a lot of scores, but we've seen a lot of turnovers to end possessions. And Barton right now standing back at his own 25-yard line.
Oh,
low snap.
Good punt. Right to him. Good coverage by the defense.
Gastelum takes it, but I believe Caleb Lundquist and Dallas Ayera.
Brendan Cabreras there to make the play, number 42. Is that not 42? Maybe I should put my glasses back on. Who was that? Did you see who that was?
The only reason why I know it's not Brendan Cabreras is he's unfortunately done for the season with an injury. I work with a family member who was talking to me about it earlier this week, and so hopefully recovery, hopefully he's going well for Brendan.
I'll put my glasses back on. I can see again.
It's okay, Jerry. It's okay, Sometimes, the number, we're a little bit further away than we usually are in basketball, so,
But there's only 5 people on the court. You know who all those numbers are.
Back to throw to Vries. Will look to throw. Takes a shot up. Has a man. Gastelum. But he overthrew him. Gastelum had a step or two there on the corner. And if he hits that would have been a touchdown. And that'll bring up second down and 10.
I can't see that number on the coverage. Is that number 6? Andrew Lukens. Playing trail technique on the receiver. Good job.
Second down and 10 coming up. That's the only way I play coverage for sure. I do a lot of chase, Jerry. I don't know how much coverage I provide.
Inside run, trap.
Here's the give up to number 5. That's going to be Chase Butler, who's had a very nice, comfortable ball game tonight.
Gain of 6 yards. Hey, future of Spanish Fork looks good with these boys on the field.
Butler has had a couple of nice carries tonight, which will be a a nice part of the offense for Eric Thompson to come back. He'll have to replace his quarterback and a couple of other key positions, but having a guy like Butler, you can kind of build that offense around, will help.
Oh yeah, and on offense, I haven't seen much of that Dart kid, but he has a good pocket presence. He looks like a quarterback standing back there, so it looks.
Back to throw, that one goes incomplete.
That was almost picked by number 24, Brad Stevens, the sophomore.
Now bring up 4th down and 5 here. 2:09 to go here in the fourth quarter. Spanish Fork in a position right here where they can see if they can get out of here with a victory here in the first round. And DeVries rolls out, looking downfield, has a man out there. That's complete. That's Jackson Allred who will make the catch, and Allred has enough for a first down.
They're moving the ball, taking what the defense gives them. Of course, the first team defense of Spanish Fork wasn't given much.
Be first and 10 to the 44.
Stingy, we call it.
Probably have about 3, maybe 4 plays left of this one here with 90 seconds left. All depends on how quick the Orem Tigers decide to go the rest of the way.
Sweep to the outside.
Nice carry there. That's going to be a nice 9-yard pickup there for Butler.
So that's 78 pulled and hit the corner, number 8. I know that's not Noah Conway out there. This might be number 9. Nope, it is number 6. I can't read jerseys all over there. Andrew Lucan's doing the best he can about that against that pulling guard. He stood his ground, but the physics was just not in his favor.
So 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter. The Ogden Tigers looking to try to see if they can maybe put one more score up here on the board. Rolling away. DeVries looking downfield, throws back, has a man diving.
Great catch by the receiver, number 88. 80.
That's number 80. That's the tight end, Ben Howard.
Haven't heard his name much tonight.
A nice job there, Howard.
One thing I've noticed, this quarterback, whether called or does it on his own, throws back across his body quite a bit. That would explain 12 interceptions on the year.
First and 10, ball on the 25-yard line. I formation. Here's DeVries rolling out, looking downfield. Has men in coverage. Now drops it to Gastelum at the 10. He makes the man miss, and he's going to be brought down at about the 2-yard line with 19.1 on the clock.
Now they stop the clock to set the chains, but I think it'll start running here really quick. Even in normal play, it will start. So
Ogden.
They better get rid. Oh, they called a timeout.
Tigers will call their final timeout here of the ball game. The students beginning to make their way over towards the victory bell, where they will have an opportunity to ring the victory bell here in the playoffs and have a chance to make the second round for the first time since 2012. That 2012 season was pretty nice for the Dons. They made it to the state finals where they took a tough loss 49-21 to Dixie up at Rice-Eccles Stadium. So in the year before that, 2011, the Dons, well, they made a trip to the state semifinals before losing to Hurricane.
I was there at both those games. I have relatives who live in Hurricane. Hurricane, I don't think they've won a game this year either. So a big turnaround for them.
It'll be first and goal coming up here from the 3. 19 seconds left, so depending on the play call here, this could be the last play of the ball game.
How many timeouts does
clock begins to run, and DeVries steps up, and he's going to keep it himself, and he's in. Touchdown, Ogden.
Good way to end the game for the senior quarterback. Scoring with 8.8 seconds left.
I have that as his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, I look at his stats, I thought, they run a zone read type offense, and the quarterback doesn't have more yards. And he's more of a field commander than a field runner. But that's a great thing about football. There's a place for every type of person on that field.
A lot of different responsibilities here. It looks like they're going to line up here and just kick the extra point with Cooper Crabtree.
You got kids that are big, small, fast, slow. There's always fake inside.
They fake it. Hanson's going to get in for 2.
They get the 24 points.
And they're going to say he didn't get it off, it looks like.
Oh,
the officials
why would that not be an untimed down? I don't understand.
Officials are waving it off. He does not get it in, and that's the ball game.
Man, if they would have scored that, it would have been 35 points, and the clock would. I'm just messing with it.
You have to get to 21, yeah. Jerry. You have to get to 21.
Oh man.
And so this one goes final. Spanish Fork 58, Ogden 22. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up, including having our MVP Sports MVP of the game. You're watching high school football on Spanish Fork 17.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork, or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
This is your home, your car, and you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance.
See your good neighbor's State Farm agent Lance Wilson for your insurance and financial needs.
MVP Sports is the #1 source for sporting goods in Spanish Fork. Football, soccer, all the fall sports, we've got you covered. Check out our new custom t-shirt builder. Design at home and we'll build it for you. MVP Sports, 72 North Main in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Need a new car or truck? The Car Guys has the best selection of used vehicles at the best prices in Spanish Fork. The Car Guys know their automobiles to get you the best car for your needs and your budget. The Car Guys at 872 North Main in Spanish Fork.
I definitely recommend the Driggs team. They're amazing.
Hi, my name is Greg Driggs. I'm the local manager for Prime Mortgage Lending, where our motto is find a path to yes. Stop by our office today on Main Street and let us help you get into your brand new home.
Nobody plans on getting in an accident, but if it does happen, you can rely on the expertise of Mike McKell to protect and fight for your rights. Specializing in personal injury law, Mike McKell is the attorney you need. Contact Mike at McKell, Christiansen, and Wise.
Well, the final tonight, Spanish Fork takes care of business against Ogden by a final of 58-22. This one was kind of all Dons in the early going, but it was all Tigers late. This is an interesting one to see how Ogden stayed in there, Jerry. Put 22 up in the fourth quarter.
22 in the fourth quarter, but man, Spanish Fork, field position all night, great field position, great play by the offense. Quarterback Parker Swenson stepped in, delivered at the key times. Spanish Fork was in control of this ball game from the start.
So definitely an exciting night if you're Spanish Fork. A lot of contributors tonight to the success. We saw Parker Swenson have a great ball game. And really what's made him so good this year, Jerry, the fact that he's looking down the field all the time.
Yes.
He doesn't get caught up in seeing where the guys are. He's looking where his receivers are.
Right, and he understands that where the pressure's coming from. He trusts his line. If someone slips through, he knows where his safe spots are. And he can look downfield, and he has confidence that his receivers are going to get open. And if he throws a 50-50 up, one of his guys is going to come down with it. He knows it's not a 50-50. It's more like an 80% chance for his guy to either catch it or knock it away.
When you take a look at it, a couple of moments in this ball game was kind of turning points in a way. And when Spanish Fork was up 21-0, it was kind of a moment where you kind of wondered, would Ogden kind of stay in and fight, or how would the Tigers react? And that Spanish Fork defense tonight, Jerry, just kind of took over the ball game.
And you could tell what kind of confidence Coach Parrish has in his defense to go for it on that fourth down situation, the double sacks that put them back at their own 35. But hey, put the defense out there. They'll seal the deal. Keep the 0 on the board, and we'll come back and score it again. So although the offense did an outstanding job tonight, I was most impressed with the whole package of that Spanish Fork defense. I mean, from the D-line to the linebackers to the DBs, solid performance.
So our MVP Sports MVP of the game tonight, we don't have one, but we're going to give it to that whole defense for the way they played tonight. That's the kind of defensive performance, Chris, or Jerry, sorry.
That's
so
okay.
used to Chris being here.
That's okay.
That's the kind of defensive performance, Jerry, that really gives you a lot of confidence if you have to go on the road next week to play number one seed.
It gives your defense gives you so much confidence to take chances on offense. It's very complimentary, just like special teams. If you have your special teams confidence so that they can get the ball outside of the 20, it makes things easy for the offense. If the defense is going to lock somebody down, you can go for it on fourth down. It's not you can take more chances. You have more confidence, and with that confidence, offense will perform. But I haven't seen a defense. I mean, back in the early 2000s when my son played here, scores of the ball games, it looked like a BYU game from the 90s. 45 to 65, Spanish Fork wins, but when you got a lockdown defense like this, hey, offense wins ball games, defense wins championships.
So it'll be interesting and fun to see. We talk about that game next week. That number 4 seed Green Canyon, number 1 seed Dixie matchup. You would imagine most number 4s versus number 1s go in favor of the number 1 seed. And so you have to kind of think mentally, while Green Canyon could pull an upset, you have to think that you're probably thinking you're playing Dixie next week.
That's why we play the game. The stats say one team would win, but when you get on the field, you never know. Some kid may have ate his Wheaties that morning and have a spectacular game, and all it takes is one person to start the run, and then all the team follows along. That's why I love this game. I love it.
So tonight, this one goes in the favor of Spanish Fork. While we do look forward to next week down at Dixie, we're not 100% sure yet the matchup, whether potentially a home game against Green Canyon or down at Dixie. I believe our intent here at the station, though, is to hopefully be able to bring you that game. But we'll wait and see for some official word coming up next week. Keep a close eye on our social media pages as well, as we'll be able to get those decisions out there as soon as we can. We hope everybody has a great Friday night. As tonight, Spanish Fork gets it done 58-22 over Ogden. You've been watching high school football here on Spanish Fork 17.